What a way to end the regular season, the battle for number 2. Last week we had the battle for number 1, and the Brandon Valley Lynx seized it. But tonight at Harrisburg High School, it's number 2 Harrisburg hosting number 3 Lincoln. Both teams 7-1. The winner seizes the number 2 seed in the high school playoffs starting next week. And this very well could be the first of 2 rounds between these 2 squads, with a rematch coming in the semifinals. Good evening from just south of Sioux Falls on a crisp autumn night with temperatures right around 60 degrees. It's our Avera Game of the Week on the simulcast radio, television, live stream. And we're on the radio at FM 107.9 tonight, metrosports.tv, dakotanewsnow.com, and Outlaw Channel 13.2 on your old-fashioned television sets. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs, and we have teams right now, Curtis, record-wise, looking at each other in the mirror. They both have won 7, with their 1 loss coming to the top-ranked Brandon Valley Lynx.
Yeah, and fairly decisive wins by Brandon Valley, so I think that's it really stresses the level of importance for this game, because you want to stay opposite of Brandon Valley in the playoffs. I mean, you want to wait to face them until the last possible scenario, that being in the Dome.
Yeah, not just a home game in the semifinal rematch, should things go to plan in next week's quarterfinals. That's on the line, but so is, as you mentioned, an easier path to the Dakota Dome. And look, what is your assessment beyond that surface assessment of these 2 teams? Who do you feel has a slight upper hand tonight?
Well, I would think Harrisburg, just because they're better in the trenches, but I think it's unknown. I have not seen Lincoln since that loss to Brandon Valley, when they were just manhandled, both sides of the ball, really had no answer for it. How have they adapted and changed? Because Coach White's got to be thinking, hey, really what we need to do, we need to finish in the red zone, and we need to get Feldy the ball as much as possible. I bet he plays some running back tonight. He gets some fly sweep, all of it. But they feel like they're more equipped to play Brandon Valley than what Lincoln showed.
Lincoln rip-roared out of the box their first 5 games and met 5-0 Brandon Valley, lost 39-13, utter domination from the jump. But the Patriots have scored 99 points in their last 2 weeks, beating up Rapid City Central and Aberdeen Central. Harrisburg met the Lynx last week at Brandon Valley. Both teams were 7-0, and I wouldn't say dominate, but Brandon Valley controlled the game 21-7. The Tigers had a couple chances in the fourth quarter near the goal line and failed to get in the end zone each time. We'll learn a lot more about these teams as we head toward kickoff, but let's take a look at the bigger picture across 11 AAA football in South Dakota. It's our schedule brought to you by Augustana University, where hands-on learning, a vibrant community, and diverse opportunities prepare you to lead and succeed. And we've got the game of the week, as we always do, but man, a good undercard. A supplementary game is Brandon Valley and Jefferson, number 1 versus number 4. Another potential semifinal preview 2 weeks away. That's going to be in Brandon, but this one is at Howard Wood Field tonight. What does Jefferson need to do to beat the Lynx?
Well, it sounds like they took it right down the field, and then the quarterback fumbled going into the end zone for what would have been a would-be touchdown, and then Brandon Valley then took it down and scored, and Brandon Valley's up 7-0, it sounds like now. The thing with Jefferson, they can match up with anybody, but they just don't have the explosive ability to get those quick scores. They're good defensively. They're pretty good up front. They're very vanilla offensively, though, so they end up having to rely on 12-play drives to score, which in high school, 12-play drives gives you plenty of opportunity for mistakes, and that's kind of been the bugaboo for them so far.
I mean, they discovered a burner downfield threat in Alisani Sissoko a couple of weeks here against Harrisburg. Maybe that will be in the vault tonight, but the Cavaliers are trailing number 1 Brandon Valley 7-0 early in the second quarter. Also tonight, the West Side Story. So many memorable games you coached in as a Roosevelt staffer back in the day against the O'Gorman Knights and Steve Keeter. Now it is Jason Poppinga matching up with first-year coach Jason Stahlberg. The Knights of O'Gorman are 4-4, ranked number 5 at Roosevelt tonight. Rapid City Central and Rapid City Stevens out west. They're locking horns for the rights to win the final playoff seed at number 8 in the state and the rights to travel all the way across the state to Brandon next week. So good luck to both of those teams out west. The Cobblers are 1-7, and the Raiders are 0-8. That one Rapid City Central win was over Washington. The Warriors are 2-6. They're coming off a solid and dominating performance against Roosevelt last week, and they are at T-Area, a team usually much better than that 4-4 record, Curtis.
Yeah, T, though, lost their quarterback, Conrad. He's out with a torn ACL. They're trying to figure out offensively what they can do right now. Washington, it's always in question what quarterback's going to come in and play. Is Hoffman going to be solid, or is he going to be a turnover machine? That's been, the issue for them up to this point. And that was the big loss against Rapid City Central when they went out there and lost 3-0. Central, I think, is the one of those two teams that's playing still. They're playing hard. They're going out. They're competing. Stevens packed it up week 2, I think, and they dismissed their coach, and since that point nothing has gone right, and it would be really unfortunate. I think the kids are not looking forward to if they have to travel out west to play someone that first round.
And so now, with the final week of the regular season, these games are so important to set up the seedings for the playoffs. Some of it's already determined, like number 1 Brandon Valley. Let's look at our AAA Top 5 football media poll, brought to you by Touchmark at All Saints. And the top 5 are also the top 5 when it comes to playoff seeding. Brandon Valley 1, Harrisburg 2, Lincoln 3, Jefferson 4, and O'Gorman 5. Brandon Valley would be playing Rapid City Central or Stevens next week. They will be. And then 2 versus 7 will be Harrisburg and likely Roosevelt. 3 versus 6 will be Lincoln and likely Washington. And then the 4-5 game, which we will carry if things go to plan, Jefferson at O'Gorman next week at Howard Wood Field.
Other way around. That'd be O'Gorman at Jefferson.
Thank you. Yes, yes. And so we would expect that to be the closest game, but all these teams have one regular season game left to finish things out. Any thoughts about how the top 8 look right now?
Well, I think the top 5 have really played themselves into these are the 5 best, and that is the correct order. The one, Jefferson's the wild card because they could upset someone, but I can't see them winning 3 big games in a row. That's asking a lot, I think, of where they're at offensively right now. Brandon Valley, though, the way they're winning, if they can continue to play that way with just pounding the rock and good defense, because as close as the score was against Harrisburg, it really felt like from the second quarter on, they really had control of that game.
He's Curtis Riggs. I'm John Gaskins, and we are just underway. About 20 minutes from kickoff at Harrisburg, where the second-ranked Tigers are hosting number 3 Lincoln in the regular season finale. We'll dive into our team profiles, our players to watch, and our Vern ID keys to the game as we ramp up to kickoff here on the simulcast, FM 107.9, Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com, and Outlaw Channel 13.2.
Touchmark at All Saints is a full-service, award-winning retirement community set in the heart of historic downtown Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
At Touchmark, we want to preserve the independence that you have.
We want to make sure that every part of who you are is fulfilled.
I would recommend this to anybody. I think this is just a great way to spend your retirement years.
At the end of the day, we're here to live the full life.
Starting the First Bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you, with a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Dakota News Now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first and only local news in prime time. 1 hour to focus on the headlines of the day, plus breaking news as it happens. 1 hour to provide in-depth coverage of the biggest stories, alerting you first to what impacts you and your family's safety. 1 hour to give you a more detailed look at your first alert forecast, updating you every 5 minutes so you can prepare for tomorrow's forecast tonight. Dakota News Now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first alert.
Harrisburg and Lincoln, another clash of the Titans. High school football on our Avera Health Game of the Week. FM 107.9 this week, metrosports.tv, dakotanewsnow.com on the streams, plus the Outlaw Channel 13.2. And you can also tune in live on the Metro Sports TV YouTube page and the Twitter page at Metro Sports TV. All there for you. The stands continuing to fill up on a night where it starts just over 60 degrees. It'll finish in the 50s. Very little wind. And the Jefferson student section in their hunting gear theme tonight. It's a whiteout for the Harrisburg students. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs as we move along our pregame show, about 10-15 minutes away from kickoff. It's senior night at Harrisburg, and because it's the Harrisburg Tigers, there's over 20 seniors. It's like a college football game. That also part of their pregame ceremonies. Time to check out our team profiles, brought to you by South Dakota State University. And it starts with the road team, the third-ranked Lincoln Patriots. They're evolving as an offense. They were pass happy, or at least getting more yards through the air to start the season, Curtis. But since then, their rushing yards continue to tick up. This is an offense averaging nearly 400 yards a game, 220 on the ground, 175 through the air, scoring 42 points per contest.
Yeah, I mean, they're statistics that are very skewed, though, because when they're playing against teams like Rapid City, Stevens, and Aberdeen Central, their last two games, you end up handing the ball off more. And a back like Josh Myers, I mean, we saw how he started this season. I think he had 11 carries and he averaged over 12 yards a carry to start the season off. He's one, though, in the big games, they don't seem to rely on 3 yards. They want quick, fast, and up-tempo, and they want big plays. And so every team going against them knows, hey, let's make them have to work their way down the field and tackle.
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots, to your point, averaged only about 4 yards per carry and 74 yards overall. Some of that is sack yardage. in their biggest test against Brandon Valley just 3 weeks ago. Lincoln giving up 16.5 points per game. That is solid, although they did give up 39 to the Lynx and really could not stop Brandon Valley on almost any key possession in that game until things were well in hand in the second half. So 39-13 to the Lynx, the only Lincoln loss this year for, I can't believe I am saying this, 8th-year head coach Jared Fredenberg. And now, the Harrisburg Tigers team profile, also brought to you by SDSU. And like the Patriots, a fairly balanced offense, averaging 194 on the ground, 148 through the air. Not as high scoring, 34 points per game, but that's okay. It's solid, and as we've mentioned throughout our Harrisburg broadcasts, these are not your Harrisburg Tigers of the past several years when it comes to how they move the ball.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think the 34 points per game is by choice. They don't go up tempo. They don't sling it around. They try to grind out drives, and they really rely on their run game. But where we've seen some issues is when they get stopped on first down, get second and long or third and long. That's created some problems for them because it's not like they can just flip that switch on and go back to the old offense. They're now in this new offense, and part of that new offense is play action and trying to get Feldy the ball. And when they need those big plays and Feldy's not there, they've really struggled.
Well, they have Josiah Hines, a tailback, who is averaging 7.5 yards a carry, 119 a game. And as you mentioned, their quarterback, Sam Knuth, he's only throwing for 141 a game. He's rushing at a really good clip for a quarterback, about 4 yards per carry, and he's got some speed and he's got some initial burst, and he's their second leading rusher. We'll see how much they use that tonight.
And he can run. I mean, you and I have talked a lot about this. If he gets out in the open, he's going to outrun everyone. Where he struggles, though, is when he's running in traffic. He is a magnet for big hits, and that's what they have to be careful of. And hopefully Coach White also has learned, 4th and short, he's not the one that should be carrying the ball. And we saw that at Brandon Valley. They got stopped twice, both on short yardage situations. And it wasn't because of lack of effort. Sam was doing everything he could to get in there. It's just they need to get Hines the ball and let him do what he does best and get those positive yards when he takes hits.
And Harrisburg, by the way, their only loss was to number 1 Brandon Valley, 21-7. So they did play the Lynx closer and far deeper into the game than the Lincoln Patriots did, and that was 1 week ago. Now, having said that, how much can you base what you project tonight off of how these teams performed against Brandon Valley?
Well, I think you base it based on their strengths and weaknesses. And one strength you would look at right away, Harrisburg, Sam Knuth took care of the ball. He did a good job of that. He managed their drives, took care of the ball, has not thrown many interceptions this year. Lincoln against Brandon Valley, though, that was the first game where Schaefer was like, oh, he is a sophomore. He is beatable, because he had not shown that up to that point. The pressure really got to him, whereas it seemed like Knuth thrived in that pressure and was battling all the way till the end of the game.
He's Curtis Riggs. I'm John Gaskins. The Harrisburg Tigers have made their way onto the field. If you're watching on Metro Sports TV, you can see them entering their sideline on the far side from where we are at. The Lincoln Patriots are expected to come out of the tunnel fairly soon. One note again for the radio audience, the Minnesota Vikings are over on Fox Sports 98.1 tonight with the L.A. Rams. So most of these broadcasts on the radio for our Avera Health Game of the Week are on Fox Sports 98.1, and we'll go right back there next week. But if you happen to be watching on Metro Sports TV or DakotaNewsNow.com, and at some point you need to get in that car, find a way to listen to the radio, it's on FM 107.9 tonight. The second-ranked Harrisburg Tigers, the third-ranked Lincoln Patriots. Both teams are 7-1. Both teams' only loss is to number 1 Brandon Valley. Heck of a matchup to finish the regular season. The Lincoln Patriots are now out of the tunnel in their all-white jerseys coming on to the field. We still have plenty more to get to On our pregame show, our players to watch, our keys to victory, the coin toss, and the kickoff, all coming your way. It's a beautiful Thursday night for high school football on Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com, the Outlaw Channel 13.2, and Kello News Talk 107.9.
Back to school means back to routine for you and your family. Make Dakota News Now part of your routine every morning from 5 to 7.
And I'll have your first alert to whether you need a coat or a jacket or some extra time to get to work.
Your first alert to the news that happened overnight and what to expect for the day ahead.
Dakota News Now, your first alert station.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all, plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no diamond like a Greenberg's diamond. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you, with a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
About 5 minutes away from kickoff to one of the best games we'll see all season long on our Avera Health Game of the Week. Number 2, Harrisburg, hosting number 3, Lincoln. Both teams 7-1. I think that's a safe prediction, Curtis. We haven't had really any white-knuckle down-to-the-wire games. We did have 21-14 Harrisburg over Jefferson a couple weeks ago, but the Tigers just ran the ball out for the last 4 minutes of the game. How close do you expect this one to be tonight?
That's tough. The game plan is so critical. Tackling is going to be a big thing, but can they make Brody Schaefer feel some pressure? Can they make him feel like he has to make those big plays where he is prone to turnovers? And then on the other side, can Lincoln make Harrisburg get out of that solid run game and make Sam Knuth have to throw the ball all over the field, which he used to do? It seems so weird to say that now because that's where they're at their weakest.
He's Curtis Riggs. I'm John Gaskins. There are so many players to watch, but our Central Bank players to watch, we're just going to pick one from each team. And for Lincoln, running back Josh Myers, 75 yards a game on 7.5 yards per carry. He has 9 rushing touchdowns. So with those numbers, that yards per carry, you wonder why they might not use him more. He has been hurt for a game, but where do you see him fitting into what's going to unfold tonight?
Well, that all goes on Eric Struck. There's been many games where you sit there and go, hey, you're throwing that quick screen for 1 yard gain when Josh Myers he's fireworks in a bottle every time. I mean, he is a home run waiting to happen every time he touches it, but it seems like they get bored. They get bored with that 1 or 2 yards, even though you have to give them the carries to get that explosive play eventually.
And Myers is a 6-foot, 190-pound senior, waited his turn behind some excellent running backs the last few years and has really burst onto the scene. Certainly earlier in the season, he was silenced a little bit in that Brandon Valley game, Lincoln's only loss a couple of weeks ago. Meanwhile, our Central Bank player to watch for the Harrisburg Tigers is Braden Feldy, 6-foot senior wide receiver. He's a 3-year starter after superb weapons in Titan Tryon and Max Carlson graduated. He's been the main man, and I'm talking main man, Curtis. Of the 79 completions Sam Knuth has thrown this year, 38 of them, almost half, have been to Braden Feldy, the 6-foot senior.
Yeah, I mean, they run 60% of their plays, 40%'s pass, and of that 40%, just like you said, over 50% of those attempts or those completions are to Feldy. And I bet most of the incompletions, as we saw last week in Brandon Valley, are trying to find him somewhere down the field. They do need to spread it around just a little bit because Coach Fredenberg, being a defensive mind, he is going to know, hey, where's Feldy? Let's double team him. Let's eliminate him, and let's make Knuth and Will Young beat us with the passing game a little bit.
But about 5 times a game, Braden Feldy is catching a pass from Sam Knuth for almost 18 yards a catch. That's 84 yards a game. And when they get near the goal line, or sometimes they're still pretty far away from it, he's their favorite receiving target with 11 touchdowns.
Well, and he's also very good on the defensive side. He is excellent at the free safety position. They do a great job of letting him roam, read the quarterback, and he's an excellent tackler, too.
Boy, they have 3 good safeties at Harrisburg, don't they? They're a major part of what's going to happen in this game. Feldy also one of the fastest Tigers and fastest players in football in South Dakota. And now our Vern Eide keys to the game as we're a few minutes away from kickoff. Number 2 Harrisburg hosting number 3 Lincoln. Regular season finale. For the Patriots, protect Brody Schaefer, the sophomore sensation. Easier said than done.
Yeah, and if Lincoln expects Harrisburg to do anything, it would be to blitz. And Brandon Valley didn't disguise it. Jefferson tried to disguise it. It took too long. Schaefer will get rid of the ball quickly. If you line him up in the gaps, though, and you bring the people and get in his face immediately, he struggled with that. Now, Lincoln has worked on how do we adapt to that, but it's always easier in practice than it is in a game. Harrisburg, they got to tackle in space, John.
Yeah, and that could be easier said than done as well with all the weapons that Lincoln has. So, we have our keys to the game in the vault. We have our players to watch, and we are ready for more high school football. Number 2 Lincoln and number 2 Harrisburg and number 3 Lincoln. We'll take a couple minutes, and we'll come back for the coin toss and the opening kick from Harrisburg on FM 107.9, Metrosports.tv, and DakotaNewsNow.com.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Make Dakota News Now part of your morning routine. Eric Thorstensen gives you the latest headlines and breaking news you need to know before you walk out the door. And Aaron Doudna has your first alert forecast so you can plan for the day and several days in advance with our 10-day forecast. Get up-to-the-minute news and weather and start your day with a little fun. Every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on Dakota News Now.
One more game, 60, well, that would be college football. How about 48 more minutes of football in the regular season here in South Dakota before the playoffs start a week from tonight? We have the best game at the highest level in the state. Number 2 Harrisburg hosting number 3 Lincoln. The Patriots win the coin toss and defer to the second half. This doesn't have much to do with weather or wind. It's 59 degrees. The wind is 9 miles an hour, and it is moving a little bit out away from us to the west right now. So at the moment, it'd be kind of a crosswind. And the Harrisburg Tigers and their highly productive offense, scoring 34 points per game, will take the field first. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs, our Avera Health Game of the Week. On the line tonight, the number 2 seed in the 11 AAA state playoffs that do start next week. And potentially whoever gets to play at home in the semifinals 2 weeks from now. We could be right back here at Harrisburg, or if the Patriots win, we'll be at Howard Wood Field. The Tigers are in their mustard yellow jerseys, white pants, white numerals, maroon helmets, and the Patriots with their all whites jerseys and pants, red numerals, and white helmets. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs, FM 107.9 Radio, the intrepid crew at Metro Sports TV, making this available online at metrosports.tv, dakotanewsnow.com, Outlaw Channel 13.2. So the Patriots will kick it off right to left. Edison Knoll is a senior with a big leg. He's averaging 48 yards per kickoff, so a touchback nearly every time. 2 returners back at the 1-yard line for Harrisburg. Josiah Hines and Braden Feldy, 2 of the fastest players on their team. And Knoll is about to send this thing with a tad bit of wind behind it, end over end, and it falls into the breadbasket of Hines, 2 yards deep in the end zone, right down the middle. And the Tigers take the field under 15th-year head coach Brandon White. He calls the offense. It averages 34 points per game, very balanced. 194 on the ground, 148 through the air is what they average. Their quarterback is a senior. Sam Knuth, 6'4", 205 pounds. He completes 64% of his passes, 141 yards a game, 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he starts the game from his own 20, left to right, hands it off to the back next to him, Josiah Hines. He's trying to skirt to the right, and he is tripped up. After a very short gain of about 2 yards, the Patriots got to him right away. Connor Gray, their leading tackler, Curtis.
Yeah, and it wasn't even blocked. Connor comes up, makes a great tackle. Rarely do you see Hines get taken down by the first guy. The guy you got to watch on the Lincoln defense is Kremke's, the big, long defensive end, number 51. SDSU commit. I think their D-line as a whole has played very well this year, but they do have some linebackers that can really run, and they really like to come up and hit.
After a 3-yard loss, Harrisburg, 2nd and 13 on its own 17 shotgun. And Knuth right over the middle and throws it too high and a little too far for a double-covered tight end, Kaysen Syverson at the 35, right down the middle. So a 3-yard loss on the first play of the game, and incompletion, and the Tigers, 3rd and 13.
Well, and it's why against Harrisburg, first down is so big as a defense against them. If you can make them, if you stymie them and make them in long situations, make them have to throw. And it seems like this year that Knuth's arm has gotten lower as the season's gone on, a little more to the side, a little lower, which I know he worked really hard in the offseason to try to get that elevated.
Knuth back to pass, gets flushed, so he tries to run up, and he gets maybe a yard, but he is tracked down by Ruben Dye, defensive end for the Patriots at the 22. That is a loss of a yard. Harrisburg goes 3 and out, mustering minus 3 yards, and has to punt to start the game at home.
Yeah, and I think Dye's had a fantastic season. And one, he's been a really good leader for him. Two, I feel like he's had an all-state performance playing for them. I know Coach Frenberg speaks very highly of him.
The punt is very high. It is falling at the 43-yard line in Harrisburg territory. It takes a Lincoln bounce for about a yard and is down at the 42. So what a start for Lincoln, winning the coin toss, deferring to the second half, and then going 3 and out, and then a short punt, and now here they are at the Harrisburg 42 on the near side hash. This is an offense that was explosive through the first 5 games, silenced by Brandon Valley, 99 points the last 2 games, and it averages 42 points a game. The quarterback is sophomore Brody Schaefer from the gun, and he hands it off to the tailback Josh Myers. He gets around the right edge, turns the corner, up to the 35, ankle tackle, missed at the 35. He lunges forward through a couple other tacklers to the 33, a gain of 9. Check that 8 at the 34, and the Patriots will do their up-tempo offense. From the far side hash now, it is 2nd and 2 from the Harrisburg 34. Schaefer barking out signals. Mikey Roach, the single receiver to the right, 1 wide left, extra protection left side, quick sling into traffic, and it is through the hands of the intended wideout Everett Starks, just beyond the first down stick at the 29, near the boundary. Dicey throw, it'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, and what you're seeing more and more now is teams are starting to put Cabrera on the wide side with their formation. Then they motion across to the short side because they want to try to attack Van Hull. And Van Hull, we saw against Brandon Valley, made a great interception in the end zone that was at a critical time in that first half.
We're about 2 minutes in, scoreless. Lincoln 3rd and 2 from the Harrisburg 34. Handoff up the middle, and Josh Myers pounds right through. Off right guard for a first down, all the way to the 25, a 9-yard gain, a big confidence boost for the Patriots, and they move right back up to the line. So Myers had an 8-yard run, and then he had a 9-yard run a couple plays after that. Now it's the First Dakota first down, and Schaefer slings it left, caught wide open, near numbers at the 10. That's a first down, breaking out of a tackle, Mikey Roach, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 3 by Schimmel, the safety for Harrisburg. That is a 22-yard gain. It's 1st and goal, Lincoln.
Yeah, and when you let them get first downs, that's when it's like a full court press. They don't let up. They put pressure on you. Most teams, they get an 8-yard run, they'll run it again. Not Lincoln. Lincoln's going to just try to keep attacking no matter how that is, run or pass.
1st and goal, Patriots from the 5. Handoff to Myers. He squeezes ahead for a couple of yards. The Tigers closed in quick. Bradley Esser, the safety, leading tackler for the Tigers, made the stop. It is considered a 1-yard gain, so it's 2nd and goal. Lincoln from the 4 again. They're going up tempo. They've got 3 running backs lined up all next to each other behind Schaefer. The handoff to one of them, and Jackson Vikurevich turns the legs and gets in the end zone for a touchdown. Lincoln draws first blood in the battle for number 2, and the Patriots took just 4 plays to do it. Wow, Jackson Vikurevich, the 3rd-string tailback with his 3rd touchdown of the year, and no doubt his most relevant.
Well, and using him for his strength. I mean, he's really a glorified fullback is what he is. And getting him in that short yardage situation, you see him run through the attempted to tackle. It looked like Schimmel tried to come up and hit him, and Vukovic just ran right through him.
Edison Knoll, as he usually does, just booms the extra point attempt right through the uprights. He is now 31 of 36 on the year, and 3 minutes into this contest, the Patriots from Lincoln on the road, up 7-0 at Harrisburg, as we keep things right here on the simulcast. We're on Kello News Talk FM 107.9 on the radio, streaming at metrosports.tv and dakotanewsnow.com for the visual, and Outlaw Channel 13.2 on the television sets. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs. The Harrisburg Tigers, the home team, went 3 and out to start the game, a short punt of about 20 yards. The Patriots, with no return on the punt, started a drive at the 42, and they go 6 plays. The 4-yard Vukovic touchdown run at the 8:59 mark, a drive of 42 yards. And it took just over a minute, and the Patriots with the 7-0 lead in front of a few thousand here at Harrisburg. Not quite a sellout on either grandstand, but a healthy crowd on a 58-degree night. Edison Knoll, the Patriots kickoff man again. Most of the time, it's a touchback. It was on the opening kickoff, and his right-footed boot, right to left. That's end over end. It's a little shorter. Hines runs up to get it. He fumbles ahead. He has to hop on it along with Feldy. At about the 16, the Tigers do get the ball, and we have an injured Tiger, or at least a hurt Tiger on that play. That's Feldy getting up out of it. He may have fallen on the ball, but the Tigers do get it at the 17. It's a shaky start for Harrisburg so far, Curtis.
Yeah, it's maybe the flattest I've seen them look all season long. Usually, I mean, they're moving the ball and then eventually get stopped and have to pump, but so far they look like they're not ready to play football at all.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 5 seconds into the game. Lincoln up 7-0. Harrisburg, a First Dakota first down at their own 17. Hand off to Hines, and he gets past some tacklers, makes a couple moves, and all the way to the 26 on the near hash. So he kept angling right, and the Patriots chase him down, but not before a 9-yard gain. And it'll bring up 2nd and 1. Josiah Hines, a second-year starter for Harrisburg, 5'11", 195-pound junior, averages just shy of 8 yards a carry. In Harrisburg's biggest test last week against Brandon Valley's defense, 15 carries, 118 yards. 2nd and 1, Harrisburg, their own 26, left to right, handoff to Hines, stumbles in the backfield, but is able to work his way as he keeps angling right ahead to the 29 on the near side numbers. Connor Gray amongst 3 Patriots in the vicinity, but a First Dakota first down, and now Harrisburg down 7-0, gathering its bearings a little.
Well, and one thing Coach White's seeing now is the defensive backs for Lincoln are really attacking downhill. Continue to run that ball with Hines, but know that at a certain point, play action pass behind these defensive backs is going to be there.
1st and 10, Tigers at their own 30. On the near hash, left to right, 1 wide out left, 2 to the short side right, and a handoff to Hines off left guard. He goes through traffic, past some defenders, 40, and then is finally wrapped up ahead to the 43. It took a defensive back for Lincoln to take him down, and that's another First Dakota first down for the Tigers on a gain of 14.
Yeah, and Hines goes out of the game here. Looked like he landed on the ball or something, but that off-tackle zone play was very effective against Brandon Valley, too. That's where Hines had a lot of his yards last week.
7:30 remaining first quarter. Harrisburg with the ball at home, down 7-0, regular season finale. Both teams 7-1. Lincoln with 3 down linemen, and the Tigers have 3 wide to the right, none left. Handoff and a new tailback. It's actually Braden Feldy in the backfield, and normally the receiver carries it off the left side across the 45 to the 47. A gain of 3.
Yeah, and Hines comes back in. You know Coach White's going to try to figure out other ways to get Feldy the football besides just pass, fly sweep. What other ways can we try to get him involved?
It's his 4th carry of the season for 37 yards. He had an 8-yard jet sweep on Harrisburg's opening touchdown drive last week against Brandon Valley. 2nd and 7 Tigers, their own 47. Handoff Hines, behind blockers, left side, makes it to midfield, and a little cut to the right as he ran out of real estate and gained 3 more yards that way as the Patriots kept trying to take him down. That's a gain near a First Dakota first down, about a yard shy. It's a gain of 6.
Yeah, with Hines, it's never flashy. It's just you watch him and you think, oh, he's having a decent run, and then you look and he's got 9 yards. I mean, he just earns it every time.
Tigers in Patriots territory, down 7-zip. 3rd and 1, their own 47. Far hash, left to right, back to the right, and now moving out to the slot is Feldy. Hines behind Knuth. The quarterback's going to keep it, angling right, turns the corner, and has the first down. Dives ahead to the 42, Ruben Dye and Connor Gray. The upper part and lower part of Knuth on the tackle, but that is a First Dakota first down. Gain of 4 for the Tigers.
Yeah, and you saw right there, it was 3rd and short. They opted to run Knuth again, and as he went to get the first down, he turned sideways, just leaving himself exposed for Connor Gray to really put a big hit on him.
So the Tigers now at the Lincoln 43 between the hashes, left to right from the gun. Knuth hands it off. Hines, left side. He's got some room. Off the 40, skirts a tackle, 35. Twists out of a tackle, 33. Down the far sidelines, 20. He's past everybody. It's a touchdown. Josiah Hines with a 43-yard burst down the far sideline. And Harrisburg a point away from tying it right back up.
Well, and it's missed tackles. I mean, it's what we see so often with Hines. He runs through the tackles. Lincoln, though, has 2 good shots on him. They can't bring him down. If I'm Coach White, I'm meeting Hines on the sideline saying, hey, you better get ready for about 40 carries tonight. They should just pound him all night long because he looks really good.
6 plays, 83 yards for the Tigers. The extra point by Adam Maxwell is through, and we are tied with 5:17 remaining in the first quarter. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. Our Avera Health Game of the Week, Harrisburg and Lincoln on Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com, and Kello News Talk 107.9.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Off the Harrisburg touchdown, the Patriots return the kickoff all the way to midfield. Edison Knoll, who does the kicking and punting for Lincoln. He's a safety. He also has some wheels, and he bursted down the far sideline for about 40 yards. 5:09 remaining, first quarter. Lincoln 7, Harrisburg 7. The Tigers went 3 and out and punted on their first drive. The Patriots answered with an easy 42-yard drive for a touchdown. The Tigers answered 6 plays, 83 yards. Josiah Hines, a 43-yard score. Lincoln starts this drive at midfield. Far hash, right to left. Schaefer slings it left. Roach catches it between the hashes at the 45 of Harrisburg, and boy, do the Tigers get to him quick. He had no yards after that catch. In fact, he was kind of chased backwards, but a 5-yard gain on First Dakota first down.
Well, and it's still an extension of their run game. I mean, 5 yards on a hitch off the play action is really Coach Struck thinking this is the same as running for us.
Whistles blow just after Lincoln again moved up tempo and snapped it quickly. It's our first penalty of the game. 4:41 remaining in the first quarter. Game tied at 7. It's It's a false start on Lincoln. It's on Everett Starks, a receiver. And so it brings the ball right back to midfield for the Patriots. It'll be 2nd and 10 at midfield. Josh Myers, the tailback, our Central Bank player to watch. Had some good runs on that opening drive. It was Jackson Vakurovich from 4 yards out, third-string running back, that scored the touchdown. Harrisburg with 3 down linemen, 1 creeps closer, and then the rush and a throw, left side, incomplete. Patriot fans want pass interference as the ball fluttered over the head of the receiver and his 1 defender on the near side of the 25. The physical Justin Cabrera on the coverage floored the tight end, the intended receiver.
Yeah, and the coverage was excellent. The tight end never had a shot. Cabrera was right there with him. He's not going to run by him. The issue was the play, the protection was not good, and Schaefer threw that fading backwards, and he had no chance to look for a secondary receiver.
3rd and 10 Patriots midfield, and the whole time a deep fade route left side just beyond the grasp of Roach in double coverage. Near sideline at the 20. Schaefer, the sophomore, knew exactly what he wanted to do. He tried to hit the speedy Roach. Great coverage by the Tigers secondary, and it brings up a 4th down, and Lincoln will punt.
Yeah, the issue for Lincoln was they tried to run this wheel route to the short side of the field. Well, that Harrisburg's in a cover 2. The safety Feldy on this side, he's on the hash mark. He's easily able to get over there and make it a really difficult catch if Roach even had a chance to catch it.
So Edison Knoll, the first punt for Lincoln tonight. He has 16 boots on the year, averages about 27 yards. This one, with no wind to contest with, is high, angling right, and boy, it takes a big Lincoln bounce at the 20 where it landed and just rolls all the way like a tumbleweed down Main Street all the way to the 1 or the 2, and that is where the Tigers will start their second drive. 4 minutes remaining, first quarter, tied at 7 between the number 2 and 3 teams in the state.
Well, and with that punt, that's a great punt. But if I'm Harrisburg, I'm going in that huddle and just saying, hey, that's just 98 yards for Hines to run here. I mean, let's pound it right down their throat.
Harrisburg went 3 and out on its first drive and had the punt. On its second drive, 6 plays, 83 yards. Josiah Hines so far with 6 carries, 75 yards, 5 carries for 78, and the 43-yard touchdown the last time the Tigers had the ball. But now they have a First Dakota first down at their own 2. Left to right, standing in the end zone, the quarterback, Knuth, takes it up the middle, a little blocking off the left side, but he barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Looked like he had some breathing room, and the wall caved in real quick.
I wonder on those plays where they try to run Knuth, if Hines is going, I think I could have done that. I think I could have achieved that. And nothing against Sam. It's just that's not his strength, that short yardage run.
He gets 1 to the 3-yard line. It is 2nd and 9 for Harrisburg. Far side, left to right, pair of backs to the right side of Knuth. He hands it off to Hines, right, cuts left across the 5, and then takes some defenders on a right across the 10 to the 11, near a First Dakota first down. About a yard and a half shy, and the Tigers burst up to the line. 3rd and a long one from the 11. Patriots trying to recover on defense. It's a tush-push. Knuth, well, he went for the first down. It's close. No signal yet on if he got it, Curtis. He was reaching for the 12-yard line, and the officials are spotting it. No, it's short. He didn't even get the 11, at least from our angle here in the press box.
And one of the defenders timed it perfectly. Right at the snap, he was flying over the top and really put a hard hit on Knuth there.
And so this makes it 4th and 1, Harrisburg from its own 11. The Tigers think about it, or at least give us the perception they were thinking about it, but bring on their punt team. And this is something Harrisburg does not do a whole lot of. Keenan Upton is the punter. It's just his 11th boot of the year. He stands halfway into his own end zone. A pair of returners for Lincoln, Roach and Knoll at midfield. It's a helmet-high snap. This is a booming kick. It sails into Roach's arms, far sideline 48 of Harrisburg, and he sees the rush coming at him, so he runs to the far sideline and gets to about the 41, a 7-yard return off of a 37-yard punt. And the Patriots take over, tied at 7, 2 minutes, 5 seconds remaining.
And I'm surprised that Harrisburg didn't have a call where they come up in the exact same formation. They act like they're going to do the tush push, and they give a dummy cadence. Draw them off sides, get an easy 5. If you don't get it, you just call timeout or take the delay and then punt.
So the Patriots with a touchdown and a punt on their first 2 drives. First Dakota first down at the Tiger 41, right to left. Handoff, Myers, the tailback, left side, trying to dance past defenders. Instead, he maneuvers and lunges ahead of them as 3 were coming at him and sneaks in about 3 or 4 yards across the 40 to the 36. So a gain of 5. And the Patriots, no huddling. The sophomore quarterback, Brody Schaefer, looks back at his offensive coordinator, Eric Struck, for the play call. 2nd and 5 from the Harrisburg 36. 3-down lineman Tigers. Myers, the handoff up the middle, bangs through some white or yellow jerseys, and then is able to dive forward to near the first down stick. He made the 32. It'll be 3rd and 1, a 4-yard gain.
And first down, you saw the weakness. That's what Harrisburg wants. They want Myers having to dance, but then you got to finish and wrap up to make the tackle.
3rd and 1, Patriots at the Harrisburg 32. Schaefer looks back for a play call. 2 wide left, wing to the right, handoff Myers up the middle. It looked like he slipped or tripped, and it's going to be close because the Tigers were right there. Austin Costain, a defensive end, and Carter Bayer, a linebacker, were right there to get him. And this is short of the first down, maybe by a yard, maybe by less. Patriot offense stays on the field. Inside a minute remaining, first quarter, tied at 7. And now Brody Schaefer, the first time tonight, under center. Gorilla set, 3 backs right behind him. This worked for a touchdown last time. Handoff Myers off the right side. He got the first down, muscled his way to the 30, and then was able to lunge forward to the 29, maybe the 28. A 3-yard gain at the end of the play. A flag flew.
Yeah, the second effort is what got him the first down, but it might have been a face mask on top of it, too.
So on 4th and 1. Okay, personal foul, face mask on Harrisburg. What a massive penalty, Curtis. Not only did Lincoln get the first down, they moved this all the way from the 29 to the 14-yard line. And so the Patriots, off of that 3-yard run, 15-yard penalty, now have it first Dakota first down at the Harrisburg 15. Shotgun for Schaefer. It's a chest-high snap. He slings it right. Oh, it's tipped. Intercepted. Yes, it is by a lineman on the far numbers at the 18. It was tipped up in the air and corralled by one of Harrisburg's defensive linemen. The first turnover of the game comes with 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Lincoln in the red zone and a tie score at 7.
Well, they keep trying to make these throws to the short side of the field, and the defensive end does a great job. He actually gets blocked out there to it, and then he just jumps up and makes a great play. I think it was Stiff that makes the play.
I believe it's Austin Costain. Yep, Austin Costain, the son of Harrisburg's volleyball coach, Ronette Costain. And the Tigers take over at their own 18. Hines breaks out of the tackle off the handoff right side, motoring across the 25 all the way ahead to the 30 before he falls forward at the 29, an 11-yard gain. What a massive turnover by the Lincoln Patriots. So Harrisburg tied at 7, taking over. Hines with a run of 11 yards. He now has 8 carries for 94 yards and a 43-yard touchdown, and that is the end of the first quarter. It's about what we expected out of number 2 and number 3. The Tigers 7, the Patriots 7. It's Harrisburg and Lincoln from Harrisburg, and we'll take a 1-minute timeout. Second quarter next on our Rivera Game of the Week. Metrosports.tv and Kello News Talk 107.9.
The First Bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
First play, second quarter, Josiah Hines doing what he's been doing this whole game. He takes a handoff, looks like he might be stymied near the line of scrimmage and finds a way, whether it's up the middle or off to the side, angling ahead. He gets a few yards out of his 1st and 10 carry from the 29, following an 11-yard carry to end the first quarter. And Harrisburg tied with Lincoln at 7, at home, regular season finale. Both teams 7-1. The Tigers, ranked number 2 in the state, have 2nd and 5 of their own 34. The Patriots, ranked number 3 with 3 down linemen. Senior quarterback Sam Knuth, a quick throw over the middle, and it's too high for the tight end Syverson in zone coverage at midfield, and incomplete for Knuth. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, that's twice now. It just doesn't seem like Sam has a good feel for that throw where they're trying to hit that, because it was high again. Really no chance for the tight end to make a catch there.
So the Tigers, 3rd and 5 of their own 34, right to left. 45 seconds into the second quarter, Harrisburg converts on 3rd down 51% of the time. Deep drop Knuth, plenty of time, throws it deep down the right side. It's almost picked off at the Lincoln 32. 2 receivers, 2 defensive backs out there. Jameer Bird almost came up with his first pick of the year, but the Patriots do the job. After an interception, after an 11-yard run, they forced the Tigers to punt shy of midfield.
Well, and the 2 receivers are running way too close together. They're allowing 1 DB to cover both of them. It looked like they were trying to do a scissors route like what we saw last week in Brandon Valley with Feldy down the sideline, and I think it was Will Young should have been running the post route there, but not sure.
Keenan Upton, 1 punt, 37 yards. He hits a line drive. Roach catches it between the hashes at the 20, tries to angle right on his run, and he's tripped up. A great special teams tackle made at the 22 by Thomas Osman, a sophomore wideout. And so Lincoln gets the ball back a minute into the fourth quarter, tied in Harrisburg at 7, coming off an interception, a tipped interception, tipped and caught by the defensive end, Austin Costain, on the last drive. By the way, that was Costain's first pick of the year and Harrisburg's 10th as a team in just over 8 games. Brody Schaefer, Lincoln's sophomore quarterback, starting at his own 22 from the gun. Running back Josh Myers scattering in the backfield. It's a keeper off the right side, a first down gain and more for Brody Schaefer, the sophomore. Took off down the near sideline. Maybe some attention went to Myers, and a little bit of an alley for Schaefer for a First Dakota first down to the 41.
Well, and you see the shiftiness and the speed of Schaefer. He doesn't have to run that often, but when he does, he's very effective with it.
So the Patriots take over, hand off to Myers, left side. He was decided to cut up the middle after seeing some defenders come to his left. And he dives across the 45 to the 46. A gain of about 5 for Josh Myers, the tailback. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs, tied at 7. A minute and a half into the second quarter. Schaefer from the gun on 2nd and 5. And a handoff to Myers. Sheds 1 ankle tackle in the backfield and then spins out of another at the 48 and lunges ahead to the 50. Near the first down, about a yard shy. It's a 4-yard pickup. So Josh Myers with runs of 5 and 4. After the 19-yard run by the quarterback Schaefer, who is a threat with his legs. And so it's 3rd and 1. Lincoln midfield, handoff Myers right through the first line. He has a first down, crunched to the 47 of Harrisburg. A 3-yard gain, but Lincoln staying easily in business. 2 minutes in to the second quarter, tied at 7.
Well, and they did a nice job there. It almost looked like Jefferson's blocking scheme. They just took care of the first level and let Myers have a chance to pick which gap he wanted to run in just for the short gain.
So the Patriots with a First Dakota first down, now in Harrisburg territory at the 48. 3 wide right. Schaefer fakes the handoff, has time, throws right, caught wide open. Roach falls down as he hauled it in at the 35. Braden Feldy tried to get to it, and he's probably happy Roach fell down. But it is, or is it not? Oh, he dropped it. I thought he caught it. I didn't see the ball pop out.
Boy, if they come back to that same route concept, though, they had Everett Starks just running down the sideline wide open, and Schaefer didn't see him because he was looking at Roach breaking out on that out route.
2nd and 10 Patriots, Tiger 48, throw left, caught, far sideline. Luis Nakasi with his first grab of the game, but he's immediately wrapped up near the sideline on the far side. Justin Cabrera, check that. A different defensive back. That's Schill, the safety.
Yeah, that was Cabrera.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm always amazed how teams just continue to try to throw in front of him. I mean, attack him, if anything, downfield, but he is so aggressive. Do not try to throw in front of him.
So it's 3rd and 10. Schaefer escapes a sack in the backfield, zings it way down the field on the right boundary, and it is incomplete. Too long for the grab for the backup tight end, and it'll bring up a 4th and 10 for Lincoln. So Akasi's catch went for no gain. A great tackle by Cabrera, setting up the 3rd down, and then the Tigers just come right at Schaefer, force him 10 yards back, and he was unable to connect with Lucas Honor all the way down at the Tiger 20. And so Lincoln now, well, you'd think they have to punt, but no. Brody Schaefer appears to be out there as the quarterback. The Patriots send Everett Starks a receiver. They're going for it. 4th and 10 from the Tiger 48. Tied at 7, early second quarter. And then Jared Fredenberg, the head coach, calls a timeout. And he walks right up to his offensive coordinator, Eric Struck. You can guess what that conversation might be about.
Well,
we just weren't ready?
I'm sure they were trying to draw Harrisburg off sides. 4th and 5 is much more manageable than 4th and 10. Let's see if we can get a gimme here. I can't imagine they would go for this the way the game is going. But one thing we saw, though, John, on 3rd and 10, Harrisburg dialed up A-gap blitz. Hey, this is what Brandon was really good at. Let's get in Schaefer's face immediately. Don't let him stand in that pocket. Let's try to get him off his point. They got him running, and he had to try to make a really tough throw.
I have Schaefer right now for about 3 of 8, 20 yards passing, and 1 interception. But it is a tie game at 7 apiece. Josh Myers has been running the ball well, our Central Bank player to watch. 7.5 yards per carry coming in. You said if they can just stick with him.
Yeah, they do not have the patience, though, to do what Harrisburg's going to do. They will not give Myers the ball over and over like Harrisburg will give Hines the ball over and over.
So off the timeout, that's Lincoln's first of the first half. They have 2 left. Tigers have all 3. 8:51 remaining, and the Patriots, who showed they were going for it, now decide to punt. And this might be off the side of the foot. This is a high, short kick, the line of scrimmage midfield. It lands at the 35. Takes a Curtis Riggs lob wedge, backspin. Tiger bounce to the 39. That's an 11-yard punt with no return, and great field position for Harrisburg. Tied at 7, 8:41 remaining first half.
Yeah, you're right. It looked like it went off the side of his foot, too. He had a little bit of pressure, but I think he just rushed it, trying to get that coffin corner, and you end up just shanking it. That's more of my law wedge there, more of the shank.
Okay,
yeah.
Fair enough. Well, that's a very high shank, though. Impressive. And so the Tigers take over at their own 39, right to left. The senior quarterback, Knuth, hands it off to Hines, the tailback. Off right guard, right up the middle, and scrambling for about, well, not scrambling, but lunging for about 4 yards to the 43-yard line on the First Dakota first down. And for Josiah Hines, that was his 10th carry, and he is already over 100 yards. Impressive. He has a 43-yard touchdown on the Tigers' second drive. Each team has scored once. The Patriots have thrown an interception and have a punt, and the Tigers have a couple of punts as well. 2nd and 6, Harrisburg, their own 43, right to left. Handoff, Feldy. He went right, then he cut left, and the Patriots were ready for him. Maybe he was going on a jet sweep. He was a receiver. He's good in open space, but he had none once he cut to the middle and was just greeted right away by Kish Eberlein, the nose guard. And it's a gain of about 1.5 yards to bring up a 3rd and 4 for Harrisburg. Tigers have had minimal success on 3rd down so far in this game, 51% on the year. The Patriots showing 4 down linemen, 2 backs in the backfield along with Knuth. He's going to keep it himself. He runs right up the middle, has some good burst, and then dives ahead to about midfield. He's got the First Dakota first down. About 1 yard more than he needed, a 5-yard gain. Curtis Harrisburg is at midfield.
Yeah, and you can see why Coach White wants to. I don't get it, though. It's always on 3rd or 4th down and short that's when Knuth will come in and run, but he has that speed. I mean, it's so enticing. You see, hey, he's going to break one eventually, and no one's going to catch him.
Inside 7 minutes to go, first half. Lincoln at Harrisburg tied at 7. Tigers at midfield on first down. A handoff left side. Hines breaks out of a tackle in the backfield. Turns the corner on the left side. Down the near sideline all the way to the 36. Finally, a defensive back, Edison Knoll, tracks him down. He's marked at the 38, a 12-yard gain for Josiah Hines, and a First Dakota first down.
You know, John, it doesn't look like much, but this is a really good run. I mean, he runs through 3 arm tackles, and then at the point of contact, he just gets skinny, slides to the side, and gets another additional 4 yards.
So the Tigers now at the Lincoln 38. First down from the near hash, right to left. Play action, good protection. Knuth throws right, caught far numbers at the 30. Feldy twists, spun around to avoid defenders, and then ran out of bounds at the 34. Check that, the 29. That's a gain of 9, near a first down.
Yeah, and this was good coverage by Bird. Feldy just runs him deep, though, and Knuth does an excellent job of throwing him back to the sideline, letting Feldy work back to the ball, and Bird had no chance to make a play on the football.
2nd and 1, Harrisburg tied at 7 midway through the second quarter. They're at the Lincoln 29. Far hash now, right to left. Lincoln with 4 down linemen. Extra protection left side for the Tigers. 1 wide on each side. Hines behind Knuth. Takes the handoff right, then cuts left through some ankle tackles across the 25 before he is upended at about the 24. Meat and potatoes run with a couple nice cuts. And a First Dakota first down. Just needed 1, he got 5.
Yeah, and that's where Brandon Valley, we saw the other night, 3 to 5 yards first down. They were golden then in their offensive scheme. These two teams, it seems like they don't have the patience for that, but Dieter at right guard, he just destroyed the nose tackle that last play, and it made it easy for Hines to follow him.
First Dakota first down for Harrisburg now at the Lincoln 24. Hines hands it off, or gets the handoff into a pile to the 21, about a 3-yard gain, the 3rd penalty of the game has been called. And it's holding on Harrisburg. So that will bring the ball probably back to the 35. The flag is sitting at the 25. It's Harrisburg's first penalty of the game. But it's a big one, Curtis. 5:33 remaining first half and a tie game at 7, and Harrisburg with the momentum in Lincoln territory.
And do they take the approach that we got to get big chunks back, or do we just continue to move the ball the way we have? An occasional pass and a lot of Hines.
Makes it 1st and 20 for Harrisburg. Far hash, 34-yard line, right to left. Harrisburg is moving. And Knuth stepping back, slinging it right, and it's incomplete to the running back Josiah Hines, about 5 yards in front of him at the 34, near the line of scrimmage. He wasn't necessarily being rushed or anything. It was just
they were trying
to
screen pass. They were trying to screen, and Knuth just had 0 touch on this. He kind of sidearmed it and threw it with a little too much velocity, and Hines really didn't have a chance to catch it there.
Both quarterbacks with more incompletions than completions so far, and we are past the midway point of the second quarter. 2nd and 20, Harrisburg at the Lincoln 34. Tied at 7. Over 5 minutes remaining first half. Feldy flanking far right side. He's Harrisburg's most dangerous receiver. It's a play action. Knuth, another sling right side, and it is caught. And a tight end gets out of a tackle far sideline just before the 30, maneuvers his way upfield down the boundary, and marked down at the 25. It's about a 9-yard gain to the tight end Severson, but Harrisburg will now have 3rd and long.
Yeah, it's just a nice tight end throwback, a screen. You fake Hines the other way, come back to it, and then Lincoln misses a big tackle, which would have been for no gain, rather ended up giving 10 yards away. And now it's a manageable third down, at least compared to what it would have been.
Yeah, Tigers 51% on the year, and about that rate tonight. 3rd and 11 from the Lincoln 25. 4.5 remaining first half, tied at 7. Big third down. It might be 2-down territory for the Tigers as well. Hines from the gun, hands it off, gets the handoff from Knuth, and he motors past a tackle at the 20, dives forward to about the 17. It's going to be a few yards shy of the first down. It's a gain of 8 for Hines, who now has 13 carries, 135 yards.
Well, if you're calling that, you're saying you're going to go for it on 4th down, but you asked the question of both coaches. Both said around the 43-yard range was their kicker's spot, but it looks like it's not even consideration here.
Inside 4 minutes remaining first half, the Lincoln fans right in front of us on the road making plenty of noise. 4th and 4 Tigers at the Lincoln 18, right to left, in between the hashes. Feldy flanking around, lining up right. Knuth rolls right, being chased, tries to run for it, runs out of real estate, and shy of the first down. To about the 16, maybe the 17, a flag flew as he took off.
Well, and they were trying to run that tight end drag across the field that we saw him do against Jefferson for a big 4th down touchdown.
And this appears to be on Harrisburg. It is a holding. Declined. Lincoln gets the ball back. What a massive 4th down stop in the red zone for the Patriots. It's tied at 7. 3:34 remaining first half in a battle of a pair of top 5 teams with 7-1 records. So the Patriots take over at their own 17.
The way we started this game, you thought we were going to have some fireworks, and now all of a sudden it's like we're watching the 85 Bears against the Ravens with Ray Lewis.
You're darn right. Shotgun set, handoff to Myers, gets past a tackler in the backfield, angling right, 20, spun down to the 21 on the near numbers. Good open field tackle after a 4-yard gain, and that tackle was made by Brad Esser, the safety, the top tackler for Harrisburg.
Yeah, I would tell Myers, don't jump there. Just run through arm tackles. Watch Hines.
Lincoln quickly gets right back up there and has a short gain to the near right side. A very short pass completed to Sam DeGroot, seldom used receiver this year for Lincoln. And it's a gain of a couple. 3rd and 2 Lincoln from the 25, their own 25. Inside 3 minutes left first half. Tied at 7 at Harrisburg. Awesome crowd, great weather. From the gun, Schaefer, 3 wide left. Blitz coming, throw left through the hands of an open receiver. He had to kind of kneel to get up at Mikey Roach. If he hauls it in with no defender around him at the 30, it's a first down, and instead Lincoln has to punt.
Yeah, this was probably one of Schaefer's sloppier throws here. You know, he doesn't get his feet set. He just wings it out there, which usually he's very good at doing. You see a lot of the baseball in him, but that one he throws behind Roach, and Roach had an easy first down, but couldn't haul it in.
So the Patriots punt for the 3rd time tonight. Edison Knoll, one of the better that we've seen in the Metro Conference, takes a high snap, standing at his own 13, boots it into a light breeze, and the Tigers let it go. It angles right, lands at the 45 of Harrisburg, takes a couple of little mini bounces, and is down at the 43. So Harrisburg gets awesome field position again, tied at 7.
Well, and that's the downfall of that hurry-up offense. When you don't get first downs, I mean, you only use 15 seconds of the clock. You used to see this with Kim Nelson. He would have some very explosive offenses, but when you wouldn't get the first downs, you had the other team's offense right back out there, and your defense is exhausted.
Very boom or bust, and when it didn't hit, it rained and it poured sometimes. He's also the winningest coach in South Dakota history, so it worked a lot. Harrisburg now a First Dakota first down at its own 43. 2.5 remaining first half, tied at 7. Knuth, the senior, at 6'3", from the gun, fumbled the snap, picked it up, rolling right, plenty of protection, throwing far sideline. It's caught, tiptoeing after the catch for an extra yard. I believe is Braden Feldy, but I can't see the numbers very well.
No, that's his brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't see the numbers.
Coach Fredenberg's going to be upset on this one. He had Edison Knoll right underneath it perfectly, and when Knoll turned back to look to see where the receiver was, that's when Knuth just threw it right by his head to his brother for a nice completion.
13-yard gain, a First Dakota first down. The Tigers now in Lincoln territory at the 44. Right to left from the far hash. Tight end left. One wide out right, two left, handoff to Hines up the middle, and right into an ankle tackle. He plunged to about the 42, a very short gain. Harrisburg now with 2 minutes left in the half, 3 timeouts, operating slowly so far, taking as much time as it can, although it gets out of this huddle quickly. 2nd and 9 from the Lincoln 43, and the Patriots have a bunch of men at the line of scrimmage, 8 of them. Here's a handoff. Hines, right guard, trying to angle right. Turns the corner down the far sideline and has the First Dakota first down. Racing past defenders across the 35. He's out of bounds at the 32, an 11-yard gain.
Yeah, and just another missed tackle for Lincoln. Oh, I mean, they have him perfectly for a 2-yard loss, and I think it was Gabriel Bruns wasn't able to make the tackle. And I mean, John, it seems so easy as you stand here and watch it, but we've obviously seen Hines is very good at making that first guy miss, and it's where he accumulates so many of his yards.
13 carries, 146 yards in this first half. First down for Harrisburg at the Lincoln 32. Far hash, right to left, Feldy flanking, slot left, wide right. That's the short side. And the bell tie snap, play action, rush coming, sling right, caught far, numbers 30, and then the receiver who caught it got down the sideline, tripped and falling ahead to the 21. A gain of nearly 10. And we have a flag.
Yeah, it's going to be an illegal formation. It should never, ever happen where a receiver does not check with that side judge if they're lined up okay.
It's an illegal formation on Harrisburg.
Yeah, it was number 82. You know, every time they should just go over there and say, hey, am I okay? Am I on the line? Am I off the line? And those are the mental mistakes that just drive coaches nuts, because those aren't physical errors. Those are ones even before the snap you mess up.
1:32 remaining first half. Both teams 7-1. They're playing for the number 2 playoff seed. They're the 2nd and 3rd ranked teams in the state. Harrisburg and Lincoln tied at 7. Tiger ball at home. 1st and 15 now at the Lincoln 37. Again, far hash right to left. 3 wide left, 1 right for Knuth. Steps back, looks left, throws left, caught in the flat, the 45. Immediately tackled, though. Josiah Hines, the running back, taken down by the safety Edison Knoll, a gain of about 3.
Well, and Knuth had to go to Hines because everyone else was covered. It was very good coverage by Lincoln, a good progression, and just taking what they gave there. It's just nice tackling by Lincoln.
2nd and 12, Tigers, no huddling, 1:07 remaining first half. Knuth, empty backfield, plenty of time, drops back, steps up, throws over the middle, first down, catches made at the 20, out of a tackle, angling right, 15, and ushering, shoved out of bounds, Braden Feldy. Now, Tiger fans are going to want a penalty at the 15-yard line, but that was just the defender. Tatum Bell, a safety, just trying to get a good receiver, making sure he's out of bounds. No flag call.
And we didn't think Bell would be shooting, but he's now in there playing. You got to know where Feldy is, though. I mean, you've gone over the statistics. Every pass play, there's a good chance it's going to him. Always know where he's going to be.
Yeah, he's caught half of the passes that Knuth has thrown this year, and it feels like more than half. But that was an 18-yard pickup. It's now a First Dakota first down for Harrisburg. 55 seconds remaining first half. They're in the Lincoln's red zone at the 16. Near hash, right to left, 1 wide left, 2 including Feldy to the right. Hines right behind the quarterback, Knuth, takes the handoff, moving right, trying to turn the corner. 15, just keeps angling 10. makes defenders chase all the way out of bounds on the far side at the 5. Josiah Hines stretching out yet another 11-yard run, another First Dakota first down, and a timeout Harrisburg with 44 seconds remaining in the first half, tied at 7.
I mean, he's just so patient, just does such a good job of when to go, when to give that burst and when to be patient and wait for his blocks. It seems like tonight, too, he just has an excellent feel for what's going on up front and knowing exactly when to take off. And then he's always breaking through the arm tackles. He's really made Lincoln's defense struggle with wrapping up and letting one guy take him down.
14 carries, 158 yards for Josiah Hines in the first half. He had 43 on his touchdown, the only touchdown for Harrisburg in this game. But outside of that, he has 13 carries for 105 yards. That's more than 8 yards a carry. That's been quite a night for him. You've mentioned sometimes it's missed tackles by Lincoln, but he is, and forgive me as I was adding his stats up if I'm repeating what you just said, but he seems so patient. A lot of these he's not darting straight forward.
No, he lets the blocks develop, and then he knows when to turn it on, and then it's a poor matchup, him against the DB, because he's so big and strong, and they have plenty of time to run him still.
44 seconds remain first half, tied at 7. Harrisburg first and goal, a First Dakota first down from the 4. Handoff, Hines, left, cuts right, diving across the goal line. He's got the touchdown. Harrisburg takes its first lead of this game with 39 seconds remaining in the first half. It's 13-7. So, as I turn up the crowd mic, we're on the Lincoln side. So you can't hear it very well in front of us. But Josiah Hines now has both Harrisburg touchdowns. Now 162 yards on 15 carries. Snap, hold, extra point is booted on through by Adam Maxwell for Harrisburg. He has made both tonight and is 38 of 40 on the year. And with 39 seconds remaining in the first half, second-ranked Tigers at home, leading number 3 Lincoln 14-7, having scored 14 in a row.
Well, and one thing Coach Fredenberg needs to go in at halftime and address is, Coach Struck, okay, this is your philosophy to be the run and gun, but if you're going to do it, you better get first downs. Because the reason we just gave up that touchdown is because we went 3 and out. We gave them 2 minutes, and you can see the defensive line for Lincoln is exhausted. They had 3 guys that got pushed back into the end zone with Hines.
6-play drive for Harrisburg. It spanned 58 yards. It took 1 minute 43 seconds. It felt a lot slower, but it happened. Just a lot of Josiah Hines runs of 5 to 15 yards, and that'll do the trick. And so Harrisburg with the 14-7 lead kicking off. Lincoln will get the ball to start the second half. Won the coin toss in the third. So a chance if they want to get greedy here on this drive to score a double dip, but they're going to have to start at their own 25 because this kickoff with some wind powered behind the leg of Keenan Upton goes 9 yards deep into the Lincoln end zone for a touchback. If you're Lincoln, are you trying to fun and gun this thing down the field? 2 timeouts remaining starting at their own 25.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is their mentality, is to score quick. In fact, the last drive, they got to be careful. Harrisburg might get the ball back. They only had it for 16 seconds that last drive because of incompletion. So, they need to come out. They need to get positive yards. But, yeah, they're capable of big plays.
Jackson Vakurovich, the reserve tailback, Lincoln's only score of the game. That was their first drive. Their last 4 have ended up empty. It's a First Dakota first down at their own 25, left to right. Handoff Myers right, then cuts left across the 25, and he is shoved ahead to about the 28 by a Harrisburg safety. It's a gain of 7 yards, and the Patriots move right up to the line. 25 seconds remaining in the half. 2nd and 7 from the 27. A handoff, Myers right side. He is upended at about the 31. Shy of the first down, whistles blow, clock stops 16 seconds. He fumbled, and Harrisburg recovered.
Yeah, I don't understand why you would take your time and then just run it like that. Like, what are you trying for a home run, thinking he might have the chance there? I mean, what are you running the clock out? I don't understand what the philosophy there was. And you could see the way he was running. It's like he's got a little injury, but he took a hard hit, and the ball just popped right out. It looked like the rest of the Lincoln offense was just, hey, we're getting out of here, and we're going to go in at halftime.
It's Josh Meyer's first fumble of the year. 16 seconds remaining, first half. Harrisburg, First Dakota first down on the Lincoln 32, up 14-7, 2 timeouts. Knuth from the gun, Hines right behind him. Oh, it's a play action. Knuth rolling right, looking downfield. Now he'll run, angling far numbers 30. Slides underneath a tackle at the 27 on the far sideline. I think Harrisburg might have wanted some sort of flag. They don't get it. Clock stops. 9 seconds remaining first half. It's a gain of about 5 for the quarterback, Knuth. And I believe Harrisburg's taking a timeout because that did not end out of bounds. And I don't see the timeout going off the scoreboard, but I don't know how else to explain.
Well, they called a penalty.
They did call a penalty, okay.
And I'd love to see this because it looked like Knuth actually, the player dove first, and he slid under the diving player. But, you look at how costly Lincoln's last 2 offensive drives have been. Look at their defensive line. The hands on the hips, tired.
Wow, so Lincoln with both turnovers in this game, both in their own territory. Harrisburg did not take advantage the first time, and now a big personal foul penalty moves the ball all the way to just inside the 13-yard line. 9 seconds remaining first half. Harrisburg with the ball at home, up 14-7. Regular season finale. 2 timeouts remaining in these 9 seconds. Knuth, the senior quarterback from the gun. Hines, the running back, 162 yards tonight, right behind him. From the far hash, right to left, play action, throw right toward the 5-yard line. Caught on that far sideline. Taken out of bounds immediately at the 4. Braden Feldy, the leading receiver, a 9-yard gain, and the clock stops with 5 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, Knuth and Feldy really do a great job with that comeback route. Feldy gives him plenty of room to throw back to. Knuth does a nice job leading him back. It's really unguardable by the defensive back.
What a massive play coming up. Perhaps the final of the first half. Harrisburg with all the momentum. 14 points in a row. Leading 14-7. Off Lincoln's second turnover of the quarter. 2nd and 1 from the Lincoln 4. Far hash, right to left. Lincoln with 8 men at the line of scrimmage. Knuth on the keep. Slides. And then the Tigers call a timeout. He slid about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage at the 7. The clock stops with 2 seconds remaining. Harrisburg still has 1 timeout, although that's a moot point right now. And so now is the field goal team coming on. That's what you would presume he was doing. I don't know why else he would slide there, Curtis.
Yeah, it looked like what he was doing was just getting the ball to the middle of the field for the kicker.
Yeah.
That was... It seems strange the way they hurried up like that, but it looks like that was the purpose of it.
We do have a timeout.
They had to call timeout. The clock would have ran out.
Yes, thank you. And I did say that, by the way. I did.
Then you question yourself.
Well, if you're wrong enough, you always question yourself, even when you're right. It's just kind of like when you don't want to lose something because you lose things all the time, and then you place it in a safe place, and then you end up hiding it from yourself because you can't believe that you actually, and you can't remember that you actually put it in a reasonable spot. Anyway,
you need to tell Gilbert to get you a labeler. Start labeling everything.
2 seconds remaining in the first half, and Harrisburg is going to try a field goal from. It's going to be 25 yards out. Keenan Upton is the field goal kicker. This is Harrisburg's first field goal attempt of the season. And a flag flies just before the snap. This will be right down the middle with a wind of about 10 miles an hour behind Upton. Do you have any clue? I didn't see a lot of movement.
Well, it'd be offsides.
Sneaky movement, I guess.
Yeah, offsides.
Encroachment on Lincoln.
And in high school, if you're in the gap, offsides, they blow it dead right away. It's not snapped. It's just dead right away.
So instead of a 25-yarder, now it is a 20-yarder. Literally an extra point attempt for Keenan Upton. Not normally the player that attempts those. He is usually just the kickoff guy. Adam Maxwell is their PAT guy, but Upton with the stronger leg, a 20-yard field goal to give Harrisburg a 10-point lead going into halftime. 2 seconds left. Snap, hold, good. The kick is up. It is through. It's good. 1 of 1 on the year for Harrisburg field goals. And the Tigers take a 17-7 lead at halftime on Lincoln at home in a battle of number 2 versus number 3. Harrisburg scored the final 17 points of that half, Curtis, after Lincoln scored on its first drive. And a big difference. A lot of that second quarter was spent in Lincoln territory. 2 turnovers by the Patriots.
Well, and it's the Patriots offense right now that's got to be, hey, guys, that first half's on us. I mean, we need to be better. We're going out, we're giving short fields. We're not getting first downs. We're not using the clock at all. And then we're turning the ball over, too.
Lincoln coach Jared Fredenberg having some words with the head referee. His team is, 80 yards ahead of him already through the tunnel and going to halftime. And Freddie is animated, and we can see it on Metro Sports TV right now. He's been walking for about 30 yards with the head ref and giving him a piece of his mind. It was a frustrating second quarter for Lincoln, no doubt. They're going to have to figure out how to tackle and stop Josiah Hines. The Harrisburg running back has 15 carries, 162 yards, and both of Harrisburg's touchdowns. The second-ranked Tigers leading the third-ranked Patriots, 17-7 at the break in the battle for the number 2 seed in the first round of the playoffs next week. And we have halftime. Some other scores to go through. Pole positions, playoff positioning on the line, and we'll put some thoughts into what we saw in this first half. All coming your way on Thursday Night Lights, the simulcast, our Avera Game of the Week on Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and Kello News Talk 107.9.
Touchmark at All Saints, you're going to be surrounded by history.
When you drive up to our community, you are impressed by the beautiful campus all around. This community is a combination of the old and the new. The old on the exterior, but your apartments are impressive. I've never been so pampered in my life.
So it's the combination of both the history and modernization that makes it fun and enjoyable.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you, and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
What does First Alert coverage mean to you? It's your first alert to breaking news, because when news happens, you shouldn't have to wait. It's keeping you informed on the issues that matter and updating you with the latest information. It's weather every 5 minutes, because we know your time is important. It's covering state and local politics, because decisions from City Hall to the State House affect you most. Dakota News Now, your First Alert station.
Were born on 1-0 in the quarterfinals in advance.
17-7, number 2 Harrisburg leading number 3 Lincoln in Harrisburg. It's the final week of the regular season on our Avera Game of the Week. Radio, television, and live stream, FM 107.9, Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com, and the Outlaw Channel 13.2. Patriots 3 and out. They held Harrisburg to start the game, got the ball, scored on a short field, 7-zip. Ever since then, all Harrisburg. 17-7. Josiah Hines, the running back, has 162 yards and 2 scores. And meanwhile, the Patriots have an interception and a fumble as part of this 10-point deficit. And the highlight you just saw on Metro Sports TV was Lincoln's only touchdown, Jackson Vakurovich from 4 yards out on their first drive. What's made the difference, Curtis?
Sioux Falls Lincoln's inept offense. The first drive, 4 plays and score looked outstanding, and from that point on, they have struggled. They can't get first downs. They can't get across midfield. They're turning the ball over, and more importantly, they're not using any clock. The Lincoln defense is out there, and some of it is self-induced, too, for their issues because they can't tackle, but a lot of it's because Hines is just running all over the place. I mean, really, he should get about 30 carries, and that's not a joke. 30 carries at least, because he's getting. I'm not sure what the average is. At least probably 8 yards a carry.
You're about right.
Yeah, and then you see the effectiveness of Knuth when, hey, just sprinkle in a rollout. Let's throw a quick hitch. He's so much more effective. And then you don't really worry about Feldy anymore because everyone's worried about Hines and trying to tackle him.
On the season, Josiah Hines is averaging almost 8 yards a carry. Tonight, it's almost 11 on 15 for 162.
Yeah, that seems terrible. Let's not give him the ball. Sure, Coach White's telling him, hey, you better be ready. You know?
He's halfway to 30, and it is 17-7 Harrisburg. By the way, Brody Schaefer, the Lincoln quarterback, coming into this game, completing 69% of his passes for 164 yards a game, 16 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions. Tonight, on my tabulations, on this handy-dandy yellow legal pad, 4 of 11, 29 yards, and an interception. The Patriots have both turnovers.
Well, and it seems like that's not really the key. They're not able to get the third and shorts. They're not winning these third downs, and they're in predicaments where they're on their side of the field and they can't even opt to go for it on fourth down. They end up having to punt, and they're throwing these incompletions that aren't burning any clock, and they're giving Harrisburg the ball back after 3 and out.
It is the final week of the regular season in high school football being played all over the state of South Dakota. In the 6 other classes outside of ours that we're following week after week on our Avera Health Game of the Week, I mean, a lot of important seedings being decided. It's almost set, it feels like, in 11 AAA. It's very much you have the top 4 teams, and then the next 5, there's only 9 in the class. And let's check in on some scores tonight to see how things are going, see if we have anything resembling an upset. And Brandon Valley, the number 1 ranked team, the only undefeated team at 8-0 after winning the battle for number 1 last week in Brandon, beating Harrisburg 21-7 on the road at Howard Wood Field tonight, taking on number 4 Jefferson, a potential glimpse into the semifinals 2 weeks from now. I believe it's 28-3 Brandon Valley. I'm trying to get a signal on my phone.
I think it's actually final.
Okay.
Yeah, 28-7.
Well, let's see if your phone's working a little bit better. We're both checking the SD score feed app.
28-3 final.
There it is. So the Lynx were leading 7-3 at halftime, and although we weren't there, I'm guessing they just kept road grading with their offensive
wear you
line.
down, and it sounds like they got some turnovers. But you're right, that's probably going to be the matchup they see again.
The Lynx finished the regular season 9-0 and a fairly dominant 9-0, and they already had the number 1 seed locked up. They'll be facing the winner of Rapid City Central and Rapid City Stevens. That battle for the 8th seed is close after 1 period of play. 7-6 Cobblers with the lead out west, and the winner gets to travel all the way across the state next week to face Brandon Valley. They both lost by at least 6 touchdowns to the Lynx. Meanwhile, the projected number 6 seed Washington leading T-Area 14-7 at halftime. The Titans ranked number 5 and projected 5 seed in Class 11 AA. And again here in Harrisburg, the Tigers leading Lincoln 17-7 between the number 2 and 3 ranked teams. The winner gets the number 2 seed. And the only other game in 11 AAA football is the West Side Story, the original West Side Story. Roosevelt and 5th-ranked O'Gorman yet to kick off at Howard Wood Field, part of the doubleheader. It's the nightcap across the way in Sioux Falls. The Knights are 4-4, and the Rough Riders are 3-5. The game of the night, really, in metro area football, all classes considered, is number 3, Del Rapids, the defending state champs, at number 2, Lenox tonight. And that game is scoreless about 5 minutes in. Meanwhile, Sioux Falls Christian, which took down the defending state champ Couriers last week, 21-0, they're up 3-0 on number 5 Dakota Valley with 5 minutes left in the first. So very much like AAA in single-A football, a lot of the big matchups between some of the top 4 or 5 teams are in the last couple weeks of the season and treating some fans to a little bit of a taste of what is to come. Man, Curtis, SFC just looks so good this year.
They do, but it's kind of like Brandon Valley. I mean, the scores aren't too flashy against most of the better teams. It's just they go out and they just pummel you. They get behind that big offensive line and they run for just yards rather than first downs. They'll get 3-4 yards, and they'll take field goals too when they get them. That's what we saw against Lenox. Lenox got up on them at half, and they came out, got 2 field goals, then they finally got a touchdown, and they won the game. That's really been their only close game all year.
Meanwhile, one other top 5 score in 11A ball, and that is West Central, the number 4 ranked team, leading Vermilion 7-0 midway through the first quarter. In AA ball, Watertown, the number 2 ranked team, tied at 7 with Aberdeen Central about halfway through the first quarter. Yankton, the number 1 team in the state, leading Mitchell 21-0. Not a surprise. 5 minutes into the game, it's 21-0. Wow. And Spearfish, a pleasant surprise this year, ranked number 4. Scoreless with Sturgis in the early going. Peard, now number 5. Of course, the 7-time defending state champ, about to take on winless Douglas. And 3rd-ranked Brookings is at 4-4 Huron tonight. And just getting kicked off in the NFL, the Vikings and the Rams. Who do you like tonight? You should like the Vikings. Oh, okay.
I think the Rams. I think the way the Vegas had the odds, it seemed like that trap game. Hey, take the Vikings, keep doing it. And the spread actually went from -3 to -2.5, which even more is saying, hey, take the Vikings when they think the Rams are going to win.
That game, if you want to listen to it, is over on Fox Sports 98.1 AM 1230, the home of the Minnesota Vikings in the Sioux Empire. Here, it is Harrisburg 17, Lincoln 7 at Tiger Stadium in Harrisburg. The battle for the number 2 seed with the Tigers scoring the last 17 points of the first half. Josiah Hines, your headliner, the Harrisburg tailback, with 162 yards on 15 carries. Neither team has come out of the locker room yet for the second half. We'll take a timeout, at least 4 minutes. We'll be back presumably for the second half of this regular season finale in our Avera Health Game of the Week on metrosports.tv, dakotanewsnow.com, and Kello News Talk 107.9.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Finding a place to belong is everything. It's where you can make a difference, where you're heard, where you have a team that supports you, and the benefits you deserve. At Avera, you can find that place. You belong at Avera. Apply today. Avera.org/careers.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Your time is valuable.
You shouldn't have to wait for the weather forecast.
That's why the First Alert Weather Team is giving you weather every 5 minutes in every newscast.
Every 5 minutes in the morning? Every 5 minutes in the evening.
And every 5 minutes on the weekends, too.
Focusing on the weather that affects you.
You'll always get the First Alert so you can plan ahead.
First Alert weather every 5 minutes. Only on Dakota News Now.
Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all, plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no diamond like a Greenberg's diamond. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest.
Second half, a couple minutes away from suburban Sioux Falls, about 15 miles south of downtown. It's Harrisburg, South Dakota, Tiger Stadium on the south edge of that town on a crisp autumn night where the home team, the number 2 ranked team in the state, leading number 3 Lincoln 17-7. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs on our Avera Game of the Week. Fox Sports 98.1 radio normally, but tonight we're on Keller News Talk 107.9, Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com, and the Outlaw Channel 13.2. Lincoln won the coin toss and deferred to the second half, so the Patriots get the ball to start the third quarter, Curtis, and so far, after an opening drive of about 50 yards on a short field, they have come up blank on their last 4 possessions, 2 punts, an interception, and a fumble. Josh Myers, their tailback, 11 carries, 55 yards, and Brody Schaefer, the sophomore quarterback, 4 of 11 for 29 and a pick. What, down 10, are you looking to do?
Well, I mean, they need to get first downs. That's the biggest thing. It seems so easy, but they can't even get them past midfield. I mean, they're struggling to get the ball past midfield and even play this game for field position. And when you have a guy the one time they've been successful against Harrisburg, especially defensively, they pinned him back on the 2-yard line, and you notice the rest of that quarter kind of played from the 50 in. No one ever really got moving. Both teams kind of punted back and forth, but it was all on Harrisburg's side. After that, though, when Lincoln couldn't do anything offensively, they kept the ball completely on their half of the field, and Harrisburg took full advantage of it.
Meanwhile, the Tigers have 15 carries, 162 yards from their tailback, Josiah Hines. That's most of their offense tonight. And they are kicking off right to left, about a 10-mile-an-hour breeze behind Keenan Upton. He just drills this thing about 9 yards deep into the end zone, and so Lincoln will start from its own 25 on the touchback. The Patriots are 7-1 on the year, only lost to Brandon Valley, the number 1 ranked team in the state. Same case for Harrisburg. Both teams are 7-1. The Tigers last week took that into the fourth quarter, lost 21-7, had some opportunities. Lincoln blown out by the Lynx, 39-13. It did not feel that close. Patriots with a chance to atone, though, starting the second half, its own 25, 3 wide right. And the quarterback keeps it. Schaefer angling right, has some yards, 25, and then skirting through some traffic, diving ahead, the 30 to the 32, a 12-yard gain on the keep by the quarterback, Brody Schaefer, on a First Dakota first down. And the Patriots just zoom right back up to the line of scrimmage. Schaefer is dangerous with his feet. And they now have it at their own 32. Play action, time, throw right, almost picked off right through the hands of defensive back Graham Van Hull on the near sideline at the 40, Mikey Roach, the intended wideout.
And you cannot run that play to the short side of the field. They're trying to run the corner off with their outside receiver and then run an out route with Roach. But Feldy is able to get to the over-the-top route because it's the short side of the field, and the corner just comes off, makes a nice play.
2nd and 10, Patriots there on 32. Mikey Roach was in motion, left and flanking right in front of the quarterback Schaefer, and a false start whistled on Lincoln.
Well, the tackle, he tries to hold. He just can't. He's fallen, and there was no stopping him once gravity took over.
Patriots have 4 of the 5 penalties in this game. One of them, a 15-yard personal foul, led to the Tigers' field goal to end the first half. So it's 2nd and 15, a keeper up the middle for the quarterback Schaefer. He stumbles over some bodies at the 30 to the 32, a gain of about 5 to make it 3rd and 10, and Lincoln races right back up to the line. 3rd and 10, Tigers with their 3-down lineman. Schaefer, rush comes from the left, throws before he's hit, deep fade right side, up for grabs, and interference will be whistled. The ball fell incomplete on the near numbers at the 30. Everett Starks in double coverage, Feldy and Van Hull, and Lincoln will get a free First Dakota first down.
Yeah, and the penalty's on Van Hull, and he didn't need to. Feldy easily got there, right? Feldy is so good at just reading the quarterback, playing free safety, that center fielder, and getting to that football.
So that doesn't count as an incompletion on the stats, does it?
Doesn't.
Okay.
No attempt.
Asking for a friend. All right. 1st and 10, Lincoln, their own 47. Not even a minute into the second half, down 17-7. And a quick sling right side caught by Myers. He's belted out of bounds at the 46, a 1-yard loss. And holy smokes, you've talked about him, Curtis, on previous games. hand him Schimmel the safety. Not afraid to go downhill.
Schimmel is no joke. He gets going. Most people will slow up. He has zero slow up in him as he goes to the point of contact.
So a -1 completion brings up 2nd and 11. Lincoln at their own 46. And a throw to the right side tipped. Mikey Roach tipped the throw. I think it was intended maybe for Josh Myers on the near sideline, maybe for Everett Starks around that area at the 50, but instead Roach thought it was coming to him. Maybe it was, but either way, it's incomplete.
Well, and Coach Struck looked frustrated with the throw, but I don't know if he saw there was A-gap pressure right in Schaefer's face.
So it's 3rd and 11, Lincoln own 46. Throw right, catch near sideline. Starks one step out of bounds after Van Hol came up to make sure that Starks got no more than the 46 of Harrisburg. That's a gain of 8, and it will bring up a 4th and 3. Lincoln going for it, 1.5 minutes into the second half. Down 17-7 from the Harrisburg 46. And the Patriots have 2 wide left, 1 to the short side right, moving left to right. Tigers 4 down linemen. Schaefer looking back for a play call, waiting and waiting. We can't see the play clock here. It is 4th and 3 from the Harrisburg 46. As Schaefer barks to his lineman. He's got Myers to his right, now his left. Play clock has to be close to 0. Here's the shotgun, and Schaefer keeps it right up the middle, has the first down, cuts right, gets more. To the 41, a 5-yard gain as he dove forward. It's a First Dakota first down. Lincoln and Harrisburg territory.
Yeah, you can see how Schaefer just has that good sense of where do I got to get to, and let me get there in a hurry.
Schaefer with 3 runs for 22 yards on this opening drive of the second half. And 1st and 10 from the Harrisburg 41. Play action, deep ball over the middle, receiver open, and it's incomplete, but a flag at the 5. Luis Nakasi, Lincoln's top downfield threat. 1 catch, no yards tonight, but he was hounded near the goal line.
Well, and that's how you have to attack Cabrera. You have to go by him. He doesn't have blazing speed. He has quickness and aggressiveness. He will jump anything in front of him, but if you go by him deep, that might soften him up a little bit. But he is a risk taker. He will make you have to beat him, and that's what Schaefer's going to have to do.
So the Patriots get another First Dakota first down, now at the Harrisburg 31, down 17-7, 2 minutes into the second half. Myers, the handoff, left guard, and into a Harrisburg pile. Across the 25 to maybe the 22, at least the 23. Lincoln has opened this second half, aided by 30 yards of personal foul penalties on Harrisburg.
Pass interference.
Yep. Second, well, yes.
Big difference.
Well, they are, anyway.
No,
second
they're
and
not.
6.
They're not personal
Second
fouls.
and 6, and a bobbled snap. Schaefer falls down. It's a loss of 5 yards. Back to the 27. It goes from 2nd and 6 to 3rd and 11 because Schaefer bobbled the snap and fell down.
Yeah, and I don't know if they were going to give that to Myers or not. Myers only carried the ball 1 time so far.
And so it's 3rd and 11 Lincoln at the Harrisburg 27, left to right, opening drive, second half. Schaefer dumps it right side, caught 25, through traffic. Roach at the 20, dives forward, and I think he has a First Dakota first down on the near side, near the boundary at the 13. He's a couple yards shy.
Yeah, and a nice play by Coach Struck. They're running a screen pass is what it is. You see it in the NFL all the time. Receivers will go downfield, start, wait, and then engage, and Roach is just coming underneath them under those blocking receivers.
That was a 9-yard gain to the 18, not the 13. So it's 4th and 2, Lincoln at the Harrisburg 18, trailing 10. Opening drive, second half on the road. The battle for the number 2 seed to start next week's playoffs. And Schaefer hands it off to Myers, left guard. Here come a couple Tigers. He just bulls right into them. He muscles his way to the 15. That's enough for a First Dakota first down. A big 3-yard gain by the Lincoln tailback to keep the drive going.
Yeah, and one of the linebackers, I'm not if it was Ostrom, was there to meet him 1 yard in the backfield, and Myers just runs through him.
11th play of the drive. Lincoln now at the Harrisburg 15. 2 wide each side. Schaefer throws right side goal line. Roach snags it. Did he hold on? He did! It's a touchdown! Right over the pylon on the right side. And Lincoln goes 80 yards in 11 plays to make this a 4-point game.
And if you watch this, John, they run a scissors route, and he is wide open. I don't know what Schaefer's got going on with that jump pass that he does there, but he wings it out there. I mean, that's a baseball throw, and Roach makes a beautiful catch. He has to flip his hips, back shoulder, makes the catch, and a big drive to kick off the second half.
12 plays, 75 yards, 4 minutes for Brody Schaefer, his 17th touchdown pass of the year. Lincoln with an offset line, a snap as they were going for 2 on the far hash, and this tell us what happened.
They're trying to do the swinging gate, it's called. So they count the numbers on the offensive lineman out there. If you have the numbers, then you snap it directly all the way out to the H-back. They tried it, and it wasn't even close. I mean, it looked like the circus was coming to town here. And, that's probably one where you're like, we need to be a little bit better at that before we try that.
Edison Knoll, normally the place kicker, was supposed to field that snap, and it hit the turf, shot. And he just had to pounce on the ball before the Tigers got to it.
Yeah.
So,
and they may have had the numbers. If he gets it, he's just following the offensive line because they have more guys than defenders.
But instead of trailing by a field goal in a game that appears to be close the whole way, it certainly points at a premium right now.
Yeah.
Now, and Lincoln with a good field goal kicker in Knoll.
I think you kick that extra point, the momentum carries. It keeps going.
Yeah.
You kind of have that, and you notice how the crowd kind of dies down.
Yeah, so it's a 17-13 game instead of 17-14. 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter from Harrisburg. Big drive by Lincoln, aided by 2 pass interference calls, which are the same yardage in high school football as personal fouls. A little football 101.
Lineman downfield and offsides is the same, too.
Here we go. Left to right. There's the side angling kick. Left to right. Out of bounds. So the Patriots keeping it away from 2 dangerous returners, Hines and Feldy for Harrisburg. It fluttered out at the 28. So, Edison Knowles, the kickoff man, he just had that kind of bumbled play. It wasn't all of his fault on the extra point attempt, but he was hanging his head as he went to the special teams huddle after that play as one of the coaches tried to console him. And,
well, right there, against Jefferson, if you remember, Jefferson had 2 of those pooch kicks that were very effective. They were trying that. The thing that's ironic, though, is he kicks it out of bounds at the 35, and the penalty is it goes to the 35.
So that gives the Tigers the first play of their first drive of the second half. Handoff Hines. He's ankle tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Coming up to make a big play, Griffin Keller. Thank you, Curtis.
Yeah, Keller. And doing what they struggled with in that first half, and that's tackling in a one-on-one situation there.
So no gain for Josiah Hines. The Harrisburg tailback has 16 carries, 162 yards, a couple scores tonight. Tigers down 17-13, up 17-13, 7.5 remaining third quarter. Man in motion, left to slot right, 2 wide right, 2 left on 2nd and 10. Knuth being chased, drops back, throws a screen pass. Hines catches it, but falls down at the 35, the line of scrimmage, just off to the left. Patriots were right there on top of him, maybe got a yard.
Yeah, and Connor Gray, great read. Ruben Daye, he read the screen, couldn't get back in time, and Gray makes a great play to get by the tackle. Hines doesn't even have a chance to turn around.
3rd and a long 9 for Harrisburg, 50% on the year on third downs. They're at the Lincoln, their own 36, right to left. Lincoln fans making some noise. Empty backfield, Knuth slings it right. It's caught, but tackled in the open field. On the far numbers at the 36, no gain. Another big tackle for Griffin Keller, Lincoln's leading tackler coming into the year. A shoulder injury has kind of hampered him throughout the season, but he gets the big third down stop. Tigers go 3 and out and have to punt.
One great job by the Lincoln defense tackling. 3 plays, one-on-one situations, and they won all 3 of those one-on-one situations.
Yeah, Harrisburg gets a half a yard on that drive, up by 4, punting from their own 24. A low snap. Keenan Upton picks it up. Line drive over the head of the returner on the far side of the 20. He tracks it down. Javen Augustus at the 3, far side, gets past 4 defenders, then tripped out of bounds at about the 13. He recovers about 10 yards on the return, but a big decision to make. If you let it go, it might die, or the Tigers might down it at the 1. And instead he picks it up and gets as many as he can to the 13.
The start of this half, though, similar to the start of the game. Harrisburg came out 3 plays, punted, very flat, and Lincoln went down and scored. See if Harrisburg settles down now defensively here.
So that punt was about 51 yards, a 10-yard return, and Lincoln off the touchdown and the stop to start the second half, trailing by 4 halfway through the third quarter. At its own 13, left to right, far hash. Schaefer, the sophomore quarterback from the gun. Myers right next to him, the tailback to his right. He rolls right, throws near side. Caught DeGroot at the 20. Falls ahead as the defender came at him like a bullet to the 21. A gain of 8. It'll be 2nd and 2.
And Schaefer right away does a nice job just getting the open guy the ball. Don't wait, let the play progress and let coverage go into it.
Schaefer was just 4 of 11 in the first half, and the Patriots quickly get up to the line, and Myers just takes a handoff, plunges up the middle to about the 24. A 3-yard gain for a First Dakota first down for Lincoln. Josh Myers, 11 carries, 55 yards in that first half. So an average of about 5 yards a carry. Quick snap, throw right side. DeGroot catches it near sideline and is ushered out at the 28. A quick 4-yard pickup for Lincoln on a First Dakota first down. 5:15 remaining third quarter. A 17-13 Harrisburg lead. Both teams 7-1. Regular season finale. They're battling for the number 2 seed in the playoffs. And flags fly as there was motion in Lincoln's backfield just before a 2nd and 7 snap at Lincoln's own 27.
Dead ball. Full start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty.
False start on Lincoln. So the Patriots have 6 of the 8 penalties in this game. Or 6 of 10 now that Harrisburg had a pair of pass interference penalties to aid that Lincoln touchdown drive to open the second half. So 2nd and 11, Lincoln at its own 22. Schaefer keeping it off the fake handoff right up the middle. Skirted past defenders. Bowled ahead to the 30, falling forward. He gets to the 31, an 8-yard gain on 2nd and 11.
Schaefer makes one nice cut, but he makes an unbelievable little shimmy move to make the defender miss everything. I think that was Schimmel that comes up trying to really make a big hit and doesn't even touch Schaefer.
On 3rd and 3, Schaefer faked the handoff, slinged it right. Roach catches it and falls down on his backside at the Lincoln 40. A 9-yard gain and a First Dakota first down for Lincoln. Schaefer getting into a bit of a rhythm now. And he's finding different receivers. DeGroot, Roach, Akasi on this drive, or in this second half. 1st and 10, Lincoln at its own 40, left to right, near hash. Tigers have 3 down linemen and a fake handoff. Schaefer on the keep, trying to move behind blockers, can't turn the corner around the left edge, and he may have gotten a yard to the 41. So a lot of Brody Schaefer runs and Brody Schaefer passes for Lincoln's offense in the second half.
Yeah, and that was a really good job by the Harrisburg defensive line. They didn't give ground on those blocks, and so then Esser at linebacker was able to be untouched to come up and make the tackle.
2nd and 10, Lincoln from just beyond the 40, and Schaefer running free up the middle, has the first down at midfield, spins off a tackler at the 50, and then dives ahead with tacklers coming at him at the 47. Brody Schaefer, 13 yards, another First Dakota first down. And the Patriots race right back up to the line. Shotgun, throw right, caught and dropped by Henner, the tight end, on the near numbers at the 40. Lincoln moving so fast. And by the way, Schimmel and Van Hol, the defensive backs, they were gonna make that a minimal gain. Well, it might have been about a 6-yard gain, but I think Hunter felt the footsteps. And so the Patriots will take their 7th snap, now 8th of this drive. Down by 4, 3:30 left third quarter. 2nd and 10, Schaefer behind blocking right side, running again across the 40, and it takes defensive backs to move up to get him at the 43 of Harrisburg. Check that, the 38, and they actually mark it at the 37. Third time's a charm. It's a First Dakota first down, a 10-yard run. Schaefer has a lot of carries on this drive that continues for Lincoln. And again, a quick snap, a handoff. Myers off the left side. He just keeps muscling forward, falling ahead with tacklers behind him to the 31. Yeah, they mark it 32, about a 4-yard gain.
Well, and you talked about that hitch just being about a 5 or 6 yard. For Coach Struck, it's more about making the defense have to react, to move, and have to go get reset again, too. They want them having to get as many plays as possible.
2nd and 6 Patriots, the Harrisburg 32. Fake handoff. Schaefer keeping it right side, has space, angling right, 25, and he is rumbled down at about the 24. Gray and Van Holt, check that Schimmel, the safety, or it may have been. They were both there. And Lincoln gets another First Dakota first down to the 24. It's going so fast. Throw to the right side. Catch Roach. Pushed out of bounds immediately. Hit hard again. Schimmel makes it count every time he gets near a pass catcher.
Yeah, it was incomplete. Roach stepped out of bounds before he even caught it.
Yeah, thanks for that. I couldn't see that. Flanked on the near sideline. So incomplete. Let's take a breath. It's hard to do when Lincoln's offense is on the field and with momentum. This is about the 10th play of the drive. 2nd and 10 from the Harrisburg 24. Down 4, late third quarter. Schaefer keeping it up the middle. Skirts past tacklers at the 20. Then keeps marching up ahead 15 and diving across the 10. To the 9-yard line, a 15-yard pickup and a First Dakota first down. Brody Schaefer, the sophomore.
Yeah, and his lateral quickness is really good.
46 yards rushing on this drive for Brody Schaefer. 1st and goal, Lincoln at the 10. He throws to the right side. Goal line, Roach catches it. He tries to move forward, but a great tackle denying the end zone on the near sideline by Harrisburg. It's a 9-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 1. Bradley Esser, the leading tackler, a safety, made the stop. But now Schaefer under center. 3 backs lined up right behind him. And it's Vakurovic that gets the handoff right guard. Touchdown! Diving across the goal line. Lincoln has retaken the lead. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns to start the second half. 1:46 remaining in the third. It's 19-17. And will the Patriots chase points and go for 2? It appears not. Not after failing the swinging gate attempt on the last touchdown. Edison Knoll, the kicker, is in. He is 31 of 36 on the season. DeGroot, the holder. Snap, hold, are clean. The kick, high and through. 1:46 remaining in the third. Lincoln now up 20-17 at Harrisburg. The Patriots scored the first 7 of the game. Then the Tigers scored the final 17 of the first half. And now the Patriots have all 13 in this third quarter, Curtis.
News now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first and only local news in primetime. 1 hour to focus on the headlines of the day, plus breaking news as it happens. 1 hour to provide in-depth coverage of the biggest stories, alerting you first to what impacts you and your family's safety. 1 hour to give you a more detailed look at your first alert forecast, updating you every 5 minutes so you can prepare for tomorrow's forecast tonight. Dakota News Now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls, your first alert station.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
Edison Knoll, the kickoff, left to right. It's a squibber. It's taken by an up man at the 30, and he just gets right on his knee before the Patriots fly into him. And so that's where Harrisburg will start with 1:43 remaining in the third quarter. Few thousand on hand. Temperatures in the 50s. Light breeze. A wonderful night for Thursday night high school football in the regular season finale. Been an interesting game, a game of huge swings.
That first or third quarter, minute 43 left, and Harrisburg's only ran 3 offensive plays so far.
Yeah, they went 3 and out and punted, and Lincoln sandwiching that, bookending it with a couple touchdown drives. Knuth, the senior quarterback, First Dakota first down his own 30, handoff Hines, room off the right side, and he is tracked down at the 35 on the far hashes. Josiah Hines had 15 carries, 162 yards in that first half. That's his first positive gain on his 3 carries of the second half. but that's a little bit more like what he had been doing for most of this game. He averages.
I'm sorry, John. I just saw Ruben Dai. Sometimes they slant their defensive line. Harrisburg does a good job just washing them down, and it creates a massive running lane for Hines.
2nd and 5, Tigers their own 35. Hand off to Hines off the left guard, and he just bows his head right up the middle, falls forward to about the 38. A 3-yard gain on 2nd and 5 will bring up 3rd and 2.
I would hope they give this to Hines again, but in the past, this is where they've ran Knuth on these short yardage situations here.
Big 3rd down. You hear the Lincoln fans. The Patriots have all the momentum right now. 3rd and 1, Harrisburg, its own 39. Right to left, Patriots with 7 men at the line of scrimmage. A bunch set, a handoff to Hines. He gets right past the wall and has a first down. Across the 41 to the 42, behind his center and right guard, Josiah Hines, a First Dakota first down for the Tigers.
One, he knew this was short yardage. You see him hit that one a little harder than that usual patient style of running. That's a nice job by Hines.
We're inside 15 seconds remaining in a fast third quarter. It's because we've seen mostly running plays, hardly any stoppages of the clock. And the Tigers now 1st and 10, their own 42. Right to left between the hashes. If there will be a play, there won't. The third quarter clock runs out, and it was all Lincoln. All 13 points in that third period gives the third-ranked Patriots a 20-17 lead at number 2 Harrisburg as we go to the fourth quarter on our Avera Game of the Week. Metrosports.tv, Outlaw Channel 13.2, and Kello News Talk 107.9.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all, plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no diamond like a Greenberg's diamond. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest.
What a game we have. Number 2 Harrisburg trailing number 3 Lincoln 20-17 at home. Regular season finale. First play of the fourth quarter, the Tigers on their own 42 on first down. A quarterback keep for Sam Knuth, the senior. He angled right from the middle of the field to the near numbers and is marked at the 44, a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, and Randy Nimley did a nice job, though, of taking on Hines, but more importantly, forcing Knuth to cut back inside to the help of the defense.
About 4,000 on hand at Tiger Stadium. Good traveling crowd from Lincoln. 2nd and 8, Tigers, their own 44. Near hash, left to right. Handoff, Hines, left guard. He's got some room up the middle midfield. Cuts right 45 and finally swarmed down by Edison Knoll, the safety, at the Lincoln 42. That is a gain of 14 yards and another First Dakota first down for the Tigers.
And Lincoln does not rotate. They have 3 D linemen. That's all they play. And they get caught slanting and shooting the gaps quite a bit. Harrisburg's just catching them and washing them down. And then Hines has just that massive lane to run through.
He is embarking on 200 yards tonight. He has a $187 on 17 carries. Handoff, and Feldy now playing tailback. He went off right guard, cut left across the 40, had some space, tackled at the 37, right between the hashes, a 5-yard gain for the receiver on that play, playing running back. And just another way to get the ball to Harrisburg's fastest player and leading receiver. A minute and a half into the fourth quarter, the battle for the number 2 seed in the playoffs. They're both 7-1. Harrisburg down 20-17, 2nd and 5, the Lincoln 37. Patriots have 7 at the line of scrimmage. Handoff, Hines sheds a tackle backfield, cuts right across the 35, diving ahead to the 32, maybe the 31. Either way, it's a First Dakota first down. Well, they haven't moved the sticks yet, but that's about, yes, the head referee finally signals it for Hines, now at 192 yards on 21 carries.
We haven't seen any of the formations they showed last week, though. They went empty. They did a quads look. They were throwing a lot of screens to Feldy. This time I think Coach White's got a pulse of, hey, just give it to Hines.
Tigers first down for the Lincoln 32. Hand off to Hines. He went right, then cut left into a pile. The Patriots were ready for him. He may have grabbed a yard to the 31. Night has fallen. Temperatures now in the low 50s. Lights are on. Both teams are in the playoffs. Both teams are going to get a home game in the quarterfinals. On the line is a home game and likely a rematch if they can both get by their first-round opponents in the quarterfinals next week, and they'll be heavy favorites no matter what. Tigers 2nd and 9 at the Lincoln 31. Knuth from the pistol with Hines right behind him. 2 wide left, 1 right. 6 men at the line. An extra blitzer comes for Lincoln. Handoff Hines, right tackle. Angling right past a tackler. Inside the numbers or outside the numbers across the 30 and diving ahead with defenders to the 27.
Yeah, and great stiff arm. We haven't seen much of that from Hines. Nimley comes up to tackle him, and Hines just pokes him right on the top of the head and says, no chance for you.
And so a 6-yard gain brings up a 3rd and 4 Harrisburg. About 50-50 on the year on third downs. Same thing for tonight. The Tigers trailing 20-17. The clock just seems to be moving fast in this second half. We're down to 8:30 remaining fourth quarter. Josiah Hines is behind the quarterback, Sam Knuth. He's from the pistol. 3rd and 4 Lincoln. And a quick sling to Hines. And he is tackled in the backfield at the 29. A flag flew on the far sideline, but a big-time stop is made by Lincoln's Gabe Bruns, the linebacker.
And the same thing we saw Lincoln do. Feldy did not check to see if he was on the line. They didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. It's going to be an illegal formation. I would think they'll decline this, though. So then it'd be 4th and 10 rather than 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it would be 4th and 4. Harrisburg with its 3rd penalty of the second half, but it is declined by Lincoln. And so the Patriot fans rise to their feet. 4th and 4 Harrisburg from the Lincoln 30, trailing 20-17 with 8:14 remaining fourth quarter.
4th and 8 here.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all right, John.
Well, I was looking at the scoreboard. First mistake of the year. I got all the way to late October. 4th and 8 Harrisburg from the 30. Far hash, left to right. 2 wide to the short side left. One of them in motion. Left to slot right. Feldy dangerous on the far left side. And backpedaling Knuth throws it over the middle and is knocked down. Lincoln makes the big play. It's the defensive end who made it. Ruben Dye. It's incomplete, and Lincoln up 3, takes over with inside 8 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Well, risky play, too. They tried the screen, and, it's tough to say if it was blocked or not, but it was a tough ball to catch, though, for Hines, and it was a tough throw for Knuth, too. Ruben comes through, and he kind of has to sidearm underneath him.
Yeah. Either way, he disrupted the play big time. Yep. And so now Lincoln up 3, taking over. First Dakota first down, its own 30. Low snap, handoff up the middle, and Myers bursts right through and over a diving tackle at the 35. He just plunges his way to the 36, a 6-yard gain. And Josh Myers has had a nice game when he gets the ball. 3 wideouts left for Lincoln. None to the short side right. Right to left they move from the far hash. Handoff Myers. Has room and then cut right across the 40 to the 42. A 6-yard gain and a First Dakota first down. Back-to-back gains of 6 yards for Josh Myers, the tailback. He had 55 yards on 11 carries at halftime. And that was his 3rd and 4th carry of the second half. He's got just over 70 now. First down, Lincoln, its own 41. Chance to salt away some clock. Hand off. Augustus, the backup tailback, has some room on the near sideline. He turned the corner left on the near side, got across midfield, and is raced out at the Harrisburg 41. But that's a gain of 18 yards and a First Dakota first down for Lincoln in Harrisburg territory.
Yeah, and Okasi gives him a nice block right there.
And the Patriots move and race right up to the line. First down, handoff, Statue of Liberty play, and it just goes right up the gut to Javen Augustus. His first 2 carries of the game go for 18, and then very little right over the middle. They'll give him 1 to the 40, but now the clock is inside. 6:40 remaining fourth quarter. Lincoln was down 17-7 at halftime on the wrong end of a 17-0 run. They've scored all 13 points in this second half. And now it is 2nd and 9 from the Harrisburg 40 right to left. Play action. Schaefer with time. Throws left. Caught on the near sideline. Hit immediately out of bounds at the 33. Mikey Roach makes the catch. And it's another First Dakota first down.
This is by far the best game I've seen Roach have. We predicted he would have a huge season this year, and he was kind of non-existent for a while in the offense. This game, though, you can see Schaefer's got a lot of confidence throwing him the ball.
Yeah, that was an 8-yard gain. It's 3rd and 2 from the 33, and a run by Schaefer. The quarterback keeps it left side. He got the first down, and then about 4 Tigers stood him up at the 30, but it is a 3-yard gain, a First Dakota first down. The Lincoln fans in front of us, as they should, ratcheting up that noise. Brody Schaefer has had some big runs in this second half from the quarterback spot. And the Patriots again moving quickly, now from the Harrisburg 30. Near hash right to left, 3 wide right, open field short side left. Myers is faked to the handoff. Schaefer keeps it, angling 30, 25, pass tacklers 20, stays on his feet, sideline 15, and finally taken out of bounds at the 17. A 13-yard gain, another First Dakota first down for quarterback Brody Schaefer.
Yeah, and if his tackle, Schumacher, just looks inside, look inside, big fella. Schaefer's walking down the sideline scoring.
Inside 6 minutes remaining fourth quarter. Lincoln up 3 in the red zone at the 13. A handoff on first down. Myers, it is Myers back in at tailback. Gets a couple yards. Make that 4 to the 9.
You can see some of the Harrisburg defensive linemen tapping their helmet. They want out, but Lincoln, because of the up-pace offense, won't give them a chance to sub.
8th play of the drive. There's been 7 runs. 2nd and 6, Lincoln, the Harrisburg 9. Handoff Myers, left guard, and he just tries to take a couple defenders with him. He stretches to the 8. Maybe a little inside the 8. It's a 1-yard gain. It'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for Harrisburg from the Lincoln 8. 5 minutes remaining fourth quarter. 2017, 3rd-ranked Lincoln at number 2 Harrisburg with the lead. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs. This game has turned into a fun one. And the Patriots trying to get their fans to stand up. They're making noise. Students are standing up.
Well, I assume they're going to call a timeout.
Yeah, if you're just listening on Kello News Talk 107.9, the Patriots made no real effort to get set to start a play, and they wind the clock all the way down to 4:42 remaining fourth quarter and a 2017 lead. It is Lincoln's first time out of the second half, and they have 2 remaining.
Well, and I would still look at this as 2 downs. Even though you're in field goal range, I would go 2 downs in this first one. Schaefer would be running with the ball. I'd run that counter play back again because he just seems to have such a knack to not let anyone get a clean hit on him and always get to that first down marker.
Patriots since a huge fourth down stop in Lincoln territory as Harrisburg was driving, took the ball over at about the 35-yard line, and Lincoln has gone 8 plays. 7 of them have been runs. A first down 8-yard pass, Schaefer to Roach, the only pass of this drive, and it's been a mix of Myers and Augustus at tailback. Augustus with an 18-yard run across midfield to help move the ball. Schaefer from the quarterback spot has moved well.
And the downfall of that timeout, though, was they allowed Harrisburg get some water, get their breath. They were exhausted.
3rd and 6 off the timeout. Lincoln on the Harrisburg 9, up 20-17. A chance to take a 2-score lead. Right to left they go, man in motion. Roach lines up, slot left. Harrisburg 5-down lineman. Schaefer 5-step drop, throws to the back of the end zone, and it's in the corner and through the hands of Luis Nakasi. He is taller than the defensive back, draping him. The throw just a little hot and ahead of him. 4th and 6, a huge play coming for Lincoln.
You know, when you get nothing on that play, then it makes this 4th down like, boy, should we kick a field goal?
Edison Knoll has made his only attempt this year, and it was last week, but the Patriots are going for it. 4:37 remaining in the 4th, up 20-17 at Harrisburg. 4th and 6 from the 9. Mikey Roach takes a handoff, throws it back to Schaefer, through traffic at the 10, trying to fight for extra yards, but he is upended at the 6. The Tigers sniff out the trick play and will take over at the 7-yard line.
I mean, you cannot tell me that is your best play on 4th down. The way they have been moving the ball, and then the 2 worst plays they've ran this half was the swinging gate and the reverse pass back to your quarterback, throwing it to the short side. And Coach White over there has got to be thinking, thank goodness they did not run Schaefer in that situation.
What a 4th down stop for Harrisburg, down 20-17, 4:29 remaining in the game, and the Tigers take over at their own 7. They need a field goal to tie, obviously, a touchdown to take the lead. Knuth handing off to Hines, left side, gets through the line to the 10, up ahead 15, and just knocks down tacklers like bowling pins to the 16. A 9-yard gain near a First Dakota first down. Hines now has over 200 yards on just 23 carries in this contest. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs, a few thousand on hand, a 55-degree night at Harrisburg. It has been a whale of a game. 4 minutes remaining in the 4th. 2nd and 1 Harrisburg at its own 16. 4-down lineman Lincoln. Hines the carry. Oh, he's ankle tackled across the line of scrimmage. Did he get the first down? He did, to the 17. A beautiful tackle by Gabe Bruns, but Hines only needed 1.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Bruns. It's just he only needed to get that 1 yard, though.
And so Josiah Hines with 9 on first down, 1 on second, 24 carries, about 210 yards, 2 touchdowns. 3:35 in ticking 4th quarter. Harrisburg has a long way to go. From its own 17, a First Dakota first down. Handoff Hines right side, and the Patriots are in the backfield. A big tackle for loss. Ruben Dye, the defensive end, makes the stop. And it's marked at the 13, a 4-yard loss on first down.
One reason they know that Harrisburg's running the ball here, Dye right away, he sees it. He just shoots the gap immediately, and the tackle doesn't even have a chance to get to him there.
3 minutes remaining 4th quarter. Harrisburg down 3, 2nd and 14, its own 13. Feldy, their top receiver, in motion. Right to slot left. 1 wide right. Fake handoff. Here comes pressure up the middle. Knuth is sacked. He tried to move forward. That's 2 tackles for loss in a row by Lincoln's defense when they needed it most. It'll be 3rd and a mile for the Tigers inside the 15.
Yeah, and he never even saw Kremke's. Kremke's just goes right around the tackle.
And so now Harrisburg on 3rd and 18 from its own 9. 2:20 remaining in the 4th, down 3. 3 wide left, 1 right. Hines, plenty of time, steps up in the pocket. Now he is lassoed down at the 14. What a stop by Gabe Bruns, the linebacker. And now the Tigers face 4th and long at their own 9 with 2:10 remaining and a timeout by Harrisburg. They have 2 left. 20-17, Lincoln the lead.
And calling that timeout is pretty much saying they're going to have to go for it. Now, the logic in this situation going for it is saying that, hey, we're then going to make sure you have to, if anything, kick a field goal, we'll still be within a touchdown and have a chance to get the ball back. But, if you hustle out right away, punt it, you got 3 timeouts, 2 minutes left. It's kind of a tough call either way, but, boy, it's an insurmountable 4th and 18 here, and right there the coverage was excellent.
Well, plus the Lincoln offense in the second half, starting down 17-7, 3 drives, 2 of them for touchdowns. The other, they were stopped on 4th down inside the 10. So Harrisburg, with the exception of those 4 downs in the red zone, have not stopped Lincoln.
Yeah, and the thing, they went in at halftime, and they clearly addressed it. They have tackled extremely well this half, and offensively, first downs, and a big part of it was, hey, we're going to start running Tate Schaefer more, or Brody Schaefer.
Off the timeout, 2:11 remaining, fourth quarter. Harrisburg at home with the ball, down 20-17. 4th and 18, its own 9, going for it, empty backfield. Knuth rushed, moves up in the pocket, evades a sack, throws way downfield. It is knocked down at the 39-yard line by Lincoln's Edison Knoll. The safety makes the stop in triple coverage, and Lincoln will take over inside the Harrisburg 10, up by 3 with 2:03 remaining.
Well, and it's a good play by Knoll coming off of his man, because Feldy was going to make this catch. He was coming back to the ball, and he was going to catch it, and Knoll steps in front.
What a play by the Lincoln defense. The Patriots have outscored Harrisburg 13-zip since halftime, and now they're looking to put the hammer down. 2:03 remaining. Both teams have 2 timeouts on the board. The Patriots, forcing Harrisburg to go almost 3 and out, now have 1st and goal from the 9. Quarterback, the sophomore Brody Schaefer, takes the belt tie snap. He runs off right guard. He tripped. He may have tripped on his own lineman. Oh. He stumbled ahead to the far side hash, may have gotten a yard to the 8. And the whistles blow, and Harrisburg calls a timeout to stop the clock with 1:56 remaining in the fourth quarter. On the line is the number 2 seed in the state playoffs that start with the quarterfinals next week. Each of these teams will be at home, but if Lincoln holds on, the Patriots will host Harrisburg at Howard Wood Field in the semifinals. Should both teams win games, they will be heavily favored.
Yeah, and watching tonight, I think this is a game where the next one could be the exact same. It's going to be a game of momentum, but you know the star players that are going to step up, and that's going to be Schaefer for Lincoln, running and throwing, and then Hines for Harrisburg. I mean, he cannot touch the ball enough in that game, and who knows what the weather will be like also.
The Lincoln Patriots have done most of their damage in this second half on the ground, and they have kept Harrisburg's offense off the field. The Tigers have not been productive, and they have not had many chances. Off the timeout, 1:58 remaining in the fourth. Lincoln up 20-17. They have the ball on a big 4th down stop. It's now 2nd and goal from Harrisburg's 9. Far hash, right to left. Schaefer the keep on the left side. Through some tacklers at the 5, angling toward the goal line. He's in the end zone. It's a touchdown. Lincoln up 26-19 with inside 2 minutes remaining, and they may have just dealt the dagger in Harrisburg. A massive 4th down stop, and Harrisburg has not been able to stop Brody Schaefer running with the ball from the quarterback position this entire second half.
Yeah, and Josh Myers really gave him a nice block. That's what I thought they were going to do the last drive. I mean, Schaefer has such a good feel to finish those runs.
Edison Knoll boots the extra point through the uprights, and with 1:51 remaining in the fourth quarter in Harrisburg, Lincoln, the number 3 team in the state, leading the second-ranked Tigers 27-17. The Patriots have scored all 20 points of this second half after trailing by 10 at halftime. Curtis, impressive, both sides of the ball. These Patriots who, after a hot 5-0 start, were just undressed against the Brandon Valley Lynx in Week 6. That was 3 weeks ago, 39-13. They combined for 99 points, just mowing over Rapid City Central and Aberdeen Central the last 2 weeks. And boy, they've been something fierce in this second half.
Well, I think the thing that Coach Fredenberg can go in the locker room and really say, hey, what we did was we ran the ball right at them. It wasn't we were dinking and dunking. Now, they ran more effectively with Schaefer, but it still was the offensive line dominating up front, Schaefer getting big chunk plays, 8-9 yards at a time.
The game, not over yet. It's a 10-point game, 1:51 remaining. Harrisburg has barely mustered any offense in this second half, but the Tigers do have some big playmakers. They have the capability of scoring fast, not nearly as much as in years past. Edison Knoll, the kickoff right to left. Stiff breeze now behind him, and that thing sails 5 yards beyond the back of the end zone. And so Harrisburg will start from its own 25, down 27-17, with 1:51 remaining in the fourth quarter. Temperatures in the low 50s on this late October Thursday night. The game started with hardly any wind whatsoever, maybe 9 miles an hour, and you can kind of hear it wisp into our crowd mic. And by the way, Harrisburg is moving into it now. I mean, that's somewhat a factor. Sam Knuth, the senior quarterback, has struggled for a large portion of the night. He is limited in his weaponry at receiver. Braden Feldy is his top target. The Patriots know this. The Tigers, no points since halftime, starting on their own 20, left to right, down 10. They have 1:50 remaining in the game. Knuth, plenty of time as the Patriots just pin their ears back, and finally Ruben Dailly chases Sam Knuth out of bounds as he's throwing incomplete on the near sideline past the stick, just throwing it away.
Well, and he had good coverage. I mean, good protection. It's just the coverage was really good. Lincoln's doing a good job bailing people back here. Now this one, it looks like they're going to bring pressure.
And Knuth steps back. Pressure is coming from his left or his right, so he rolls to his left, and then he basically just plays possum into three Lincoln tacklers who chased him down far sideline at the 19. That's a loss of 1. It'll be 3rd and 9 for Harrisburg with 1:30 remaining in the game, and now the Lincoln students chanting overrated to Harrisburg. 3rd and 11 from the 19. Knuth rush right up the middle. He dumps it over the middle. It is incomplete. That's out on the far hashes at the 25. And now with 1:17 remaining, the clock has stopped with that incomplete. And it's now 4th and 11. This is going to be Harrisburg's last gasp.
You know, in years past, Coach White's teams, those screen passes are money. They are so good at those. And you see, I think they're 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 tonight on that very play. That'll be something that you know going into the playoffs. He'll have that cleaned up. They'll be much better in that aspect.
I don't know if I would be chanting overrated at the
well, they don't realize that there's a good chance they'll end up playing again.
Again in 2 weeks. But what a performance by the Lincoln Patriots. Up 27-17, 20 points to nothing in the second half. 1:17 remaining fourth quarter. Harrisburg 4th and 11 from its own 19. Moving left to right, far side hash. With 3 wideouts right and 1 to the left. Hines, the tailback, with over 200 yards tonight to the right of Knuth. Here comes the noise from the Lincoln fans. The Patriots staying home. 3-step drop. Knuth looks right, throws right. Hines catches it near side, numbers 20, spins not out of a tackle, lunges to the 22, but that's far short of a first down, and the Patriots will take over after a big 4th down stop. 1:07 remaining in the contest, up by 10. And that pretty much was your dagger. 1 timeout remaining for Harrisburg. I mean, the Lincoln offense has been impressive scoring those 20 points, but the defense has certainly helped all second half.
Well, their tackling's been so much better. I mean, it's like a tale of 2 halves.
The Patriots can take the victory formation, and they certainly do. As quarterback Brody Schaefer takes a knee, the sophomore has racked up rushing yard after rushing yard in the second half and has made just enough throws to move the sticks, basically to keep the defense honest, or when Lincoln had a down and distance passing situation. But it's been an interesting evolution in the Lincoln offense. Early in the season, Schaefer was not throwing the ball over the yard, but throwing a lot more than the Patriots are now. They were really successful doing it. But ever since about week 4, Jared Fredenberg, the head coach, wanted to really emphasize running the ball, moving behind the offensive line, and save for that loss to Brandon Valley, the Patriots have been mighty impressive in that evolution. As Schaefer takes another knee with 30 seconds remaining, the clock is going to run out. The players are already exchanging fives and probably some "we'll see you in 2 weeks." And this one is official. number 3 Lincoln with a massive second half performance, taking down number 2 Harrisburg 27-17, Curtis.
Yeah, great second half. I mean, really a good, solid first half by Harrisburg, but Lincoln came out not only with execution and tackling, but the momentum. They just never let Harrisburg have a chance to get anything to build off of, and kept the foot pressed the entire time to where they said, we're going to control this entire second half.
For the Tigers, back-to-back losses to the other 2 of the top 3 teams in the state, Brandon Valley and Lincoln. The Patriots head coach, Jaron Fredenberg, flaps his arms in the air looking at the Lincoln crowd. They came out and supported en masse tonight, and they made plenty of noise. They had plenty to cheer about, and we'll have plenty to talk about on our post-game show. Lincoln 27, Harrisburg 17. The regular season is over, and we move on with our broadcast on our Avera Health Game of the Week on Metrosports.tv, DakotaNewsNow.com, and Callow News Talk 107.9.
Back to school means back to routine for you and your family. Make Dakota News Now part of your routine every morning from 5 to 7.
And I'll have your first alert to whether you need a coat or a jacket or some extra time to get to work.
Your first alert to the news that happened overnight and what to expect for the day ahead.
Dakota News Now, your first alert station.
Banking isn't just about financial products. It's about service and what we can do for you. Those personal touches are at the core of who we are at Central Bank. Decisions are made locally by people who get to know you. And while a lot has changed since 1877, we're still committed to our customers and to being the best bank in every community we serve. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Jackrabbits don't wait to see what the future holds. They build it. At South Dakota State University, the next generation's leaders are preparing to launch. They're focusing on growth, and they're reaching new heights of excellence across vital industries. SDSU is building something greater for South Dakota and the world. Join us.
Josh and Emily are visiting Emily's parents this weekend, where Josh will propose. He's nervous, but not about the ring. Well done, Josh. Well done. Chase is proposing to Ashley at the resort where they first met. Ashley was vacationing with friends, but Chase ended up being her best friend of all, plus some. Every diamond tells a story, but there's no story like yours. And there's no diamond like a Greenberg's diamond. Greenberg's Jewelers, a cut above the rest.
In nursing, where you work matters. At Avera, we build Team Green around you. With a culture that values and supports you. Leaders who listen and care about your success. And benefits to reward the great work you do. The grass is greener at Avera. So join Team Green. Learn more at avera.org/careers.
Experience it all. Follow your academic and career goals and your love for the arts, music, and competition that thrills you. Learn from award-winning faculty and in classes where you are more than a number. Build lifelong friendships at game day experiences and in student organizations for all interests. At Augustana, you don't have to choose. Live and learn in the heart of South Dakota's largest city, where job opportunities, networks of professionals, and a hometown feel await you. Find your bold at Augustana University.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
A fun one in the books to finish the regular season. Thursday night lights. High school football. Our Avera game of the week goes to the third-ranked Lincoln Patriots on the road, taking down number 2 Harrisburg 27-17 and outscoring the Tigers 20-0 in the second half. John Gaskins with Curtis Riggs. Before we get to our player of the game, we've got highlights and a wild game. I mean, as good as it gets in high school football, save for something going down to the very last play. The Tigers scored right away actually, Lincoln scored right away, 7-0 after forcing Harrisburg to punt on the initial drive of the game. And then Harrisburg scored the next 17, a field goal before the first half ended, 17-7. And then Lincoln 20-0 in the second half. Early on, though, the Patriots marched right down a short field of just over 50 yards. Jackson Vikurovich, the tailback, got across the goal line, and Lincoln did not score again the rest of the first half, Curtis. And meanwhile, the Tigers got things moving. Josiah Hines had 162 yards on 15 carries, 2 touchdowns in the first half, including this 43-yarder.
Yeah, he looked unstoppable. I mean, they had no answer. Their only hope was to minimize the first down damage and force Harrisburg into doing something besides giving him the ball.
Yeah, the Tigers scored their second touchdown a little later in the first half. In the second quarter, Hines got another carry, just muscled up the way for a 14-7 lead. And Lincoln turned the ball over twice, including a fumble inside the Harrisburg 30, so the Tigers did not have a long way to go. They ended up settling for a field goal to make it 17-7 at half. But it was all Patriots in the second half. They had won the coin toss, deferred to the second half, and it really went in their favor after Harrisburg did kick that field goal to finish the first half. I mean, it was not looking good. Lincoln was a team that lost 39-13 to Brandon Valley, a game that did not feel nearly that close in Week 6 after starting 5-0. And here they were against the number 2 ranked team. And, boy, whatever adjustments they made, both sides of the ball, it worked. They marched right down the field. It took a while on their first drive. Mikey Roach caught an 11-yard touchdown pass. It cut the lead to 4 as Lincoln went for 2 on a swinging gate try. And a botched snap kept the score at 17-13, and then the Patriots were able to get ahead after holding Harrisburg. They marched down the field again, and another throw to Mikey Roach near the goal line, near a touchdown, and then Jackson Vikurovich would finish it off with his second rushing touchdown of the night to make it 20-17. Eventually, later as the fourth quarter went on, Lincoln was able to hold Harrisburg on downs a couple of times in Harrisburg territory, on one occasion at the 9-yard line. And so the Patriots just punched it in from 10 yards out to make it 27-17. And there is the Brody Schaefer 9-yard run to make it a 10-point game with under 2 minutes remaining. While all that was going on with the Lincoln offense, the Patriot defense was shutting down the Tigers. And now it's time for our American State Bank player of the game, Curtis. And just give him the ball. It was in the quarterback's hands. And with his legs a lot in the second half, Brody Schaefer gets the nod.
Yeah, I think he showed running the ball. He may be just as lethal of a weapon as throwing the ball. I mean, tonight he looked outstanding running the ball. Coach Struck did a nice job of getting him in a winnable situation where they had more blockers than defenders. They quit trying to force it to the tailback there and quit trying to throw quick hitches, and they just said, hey, Schaefer, go out and win the game. And you saw when he got in a one-on-one situation, no one was even able to touch him. That's where I think they'll go back and look at that drive where they stalled, hey, let's just let our quarterback get us in the end zone there.
I have Brody Schaefer for about 16 of 24 for 89 yards passing. So he did more with his feet. He had 79 yards rushing on 13 carries in the second half alone.
Yeah, all in the second half. Yeah. And Mikey Roach, I thought, made some big catches for him. The first drive, though, getting the 2 penalties to continue the drives was huge for them. And then when they scored, you just felt that burst of momentum. But what really closed it off for them was they came out 3 plays and out, 3 big tackles and out, and then you just knew Harrisburg had they just never once had anything to build off of from that point on.
So the Patriots get the 27-17 win. They take the number 2 seed into the state playoffs, and Harrisburg will be number 3 as the Patriots finish the regular season 8-1 behind number 1 Brandon Valley, who's 9-0, and now Harrisburg, the 3 seed, finishes 7-2. Presumably, Harrisburg will be taking on the number 6 seed, which appears to be Roosevelt, because Washington lost to T tonight to fall to 2-7 on the season, while Roosevelt has 3 wins, and they're taking on O'Gorman. Meanwhile, the Patriots will likely play Washington in next week's quarterfinals because the Warriors fall to number 7. So it all sets up, Curtis, potentially, if things go as they should, a rematch in the semifinals. And so it should be a lot of fun, but it would be at Howard Wood Field 2 weeks from now. And that will do it on our television broadcast. We'll stay on the radio for one more segment. We'll get to some of those scores from around high school football in the Metro. But the final here tonight, Lincoln, a big second-half performance, a 27-17 win over the Harrisburg Tigers. We'll stay on the air on Kello News Talk 107.9, but for Chad Berger, Brad Newitt, the intrepid crew here at Metro Sports TV and DakotaNewsNow.com, we sign off from Harrisburg. Good evening.
News now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first and only local news in primetime. 1 hour to focus on the headlines of the day, plus breaking news as it happens. 1 hour to provide in-depth coverage of the biggest stories, alerting you first to what impacts you and your family's safety. 1 hour to give you a more detailed look at your first alert forecast, updating you every 5 minutes so you can prepare for tomorrow's forecast tonight. Dakota News Now at 9 on Fox Sioux Falls. Your first